From downtown, this is Tim Kitzrow from NBA Jam, and you're listening to NintenDomain Podcast. Boom shakalaka!
This week on NintenDomain, we'll tell you how to get your revenge on the flu fly with a gold plumbrella in Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. Plus, happy 40th anniversary Dragon Quest.
I tried to say no dice to a game, but I ruined it.
I saw Mortal Kombat 2.
Welcome to NintenDomain Podcast, episode 522. Your place to hear Nintendo fans talk all about new games and new mobile games and Dragon Quest 40th anniversary streams and whatever else. We are your hosts. I'm Trey Sephiroth Slayer Johnson.
I'm Jeremy Bullet Hell Boy Mikowski.
I'm John Knitter with a C.
Switching it. No, don't want that K in there.
Yep.
You could be like John Kidder or something.
Yep.
Well, let's start with the shows we normally do and talk about games we got and games that we've been playing. I started playing Ball Pit yesterday because it's free now through the Nintendo Switch Online.
Good job.
I listened to what Jeremy said on Slack. No, I was, I've been interested in it in a while. I figured I'd give it a go.
Only $10 right now, too.
Ball Pit is for free right now, and yeah, it is on sale also for $10. I was editing the expansion pack last night for NintenDomain, patreon.com/NintenDomain podcast, which you can hear for $1 right now. It's up, and it's an episode about us talking about our favorite middles in games, or just pretty much when like the shit hits the fan and the biggest reveals and heel turns and whatever else. I thought it came together pretty well. I liked listening to it, but a great game to play while you're editing is Ball Pit because it's pretty.
It's mindless.
It's kind of mindless. But I did, I don't know. I was just going to ask if you had any advice with it. So basically, I have 3 characters. I only have 2 characters that I unlocked. I've bought some new buildings for the town or whatever. But I don't know. You have to you kind of shoot your guys around like they're a ball, and they collect resources from the fields and the forest or whatever. But you have to hit the buildings too with them a certain amount of time before the building becomes a building. Because I have a bunch of buildings that keep telling me that I should have new characters, but I didn't get any because I guess I didn't hit them enough times with the. I don't know. It's got some weird stuff.
Yeah.
To it,
So what I do is what I did and why it probably made it less fun because I did it this way. But whenever I'd get a new building and I'd be able to build it, I would just make a little, horseshoe shape right by where the ball spawns at the bottom.
Oh, sure.
And then it would just bounce around in there and hit those things. And
to try to direct it.
Right. I wouldn't get a lot of resources or whatever. Maybe you were trying to get resources, but if you're wanting to develop the stuff, you can just kind of lump it all in the middle there and move things around. So that's where the stuff you want to hit is right there.
Yeah. I mean, at least you can move the buildings whenever you want. I was kind of trying to get some sort of order to it. I was like, here's my shit down here. And, here's where my stuff in the this is where I put the fields and the forest, and I'll put the buildings up top here, and I kind of and I expanded some of it farther out and that sort of thing. But yeah, I guess I could try to be more strategic to it and just make it because I would aim it to where it would hit it, but it would only hit it a couple times, and there's some of them that still aren't fully built yet. But yeah, there's that part, and then you go in, it's like Breakout, kind of, except you're not really bouncing the ball back.
Yeah.
You're just constantly shooting balls. Or at least I set it to where it's auto, to where it's just shooting the balls. And I beat the first level. I beat the first level twice so I could get the 2 gears to unlock the second level. But I'm not, none of my guys are good enough to get through the second level, the ice level. Because I kind of got to the point where it was just, I just couldn't clear out the guys quick enough, and they keep coming towards, and as they get farther enough down to the bottom, they'll start attacking you when they get close to you. And I don't know, I wasn't getting the right, like, weapons or whatever, because I could not, there were some guys I just couldn't clear, really. Like, there was one big guy that just, I kept hitting him over and over and over again, and he wouldn't die. He just, and then he killed me. So, I mean, I haven't had the best time with that second level, but maybe
there's a character that lets you shoot from the back, and I feel like that was the one that helped me clear a lot of the levels.
Okay.
Once I leveled that character up.
Yeah, because I only have like 3 characters. I just have like the spiky ball guy. He's the one you start with. And I got the fireball guy, which I thought maybe that would work better because of the ice. And I got the ice ball guy. Those are the 3 guys I have. None of them seem to be that interesting. They just have different weapons, I guess.
Yeah. So getting more of the people helps clear stuff out. Although, yeah, because by the end of the game, I had a couple of characters I was just always using, and then there'll be more strategy to that. If you wanna call it that. You just get more upgrades that make it a little easier.
And you can, and there's like there's kind of stuff similar to like Vampire Survivors, where you can take like 2 weapons and put them together, and it'll make a different one. So I found some pretty cool stuff like that. I don't remember what it was called, but I got one that's like the big red ball, and it like passes through everything. It doesn't really bounce, but it'll damage everything all the way through. Or maybe that was another thing on top of that. But I guess it's a pretty good thing to do when you're editing a podcast. It's a great game for that, So I haven't heard any of the music on it. If the music's great, I don't know, because I've heard no audio from it. But no, it's it's available through what, like next week or something, like the first couple days of June. I think it's like first or the second. I think it's like,
it's just basically a solid week.
Yeah, it was really, they weren't giving you a whole lot of time with it. Probably maybe because you could beat it if you tried really hard, because it's probably,
you could
think,
beat it.
Yeah. So
I think I beat it in less than, I think it only took me a couple days.
Have you downloaded it, John, or do you have any interest in it, in the ball pit, in the ball X pit?
Yeah, I'm definitely interested. I just haven't gotten the chance to download it. And for some reason, you can't download it on the phone, which
you can't
normally do. Yeah, because it's a Game Pass thing or whatever.
I've already talked about my issues with the phone app, but this is different than that. Yeah, because in order to do it, you have to get on the console, and you have to go to Nintendo Switch Online and find like the game trial or whatever. You can't just, like, if you look at it through the shop app, it won't show you that it's free. It'll just show the deal, the whatever. So
I've seen it in the past. I swear I've seen it on the past on the website, where it'll be a little window on the game's page that says, game trial. It wasn't there. Maybe
before, but I couldn't find it this time. I was just trying to check to see if it was there, but I just, just turn on your Switch. And there it is. I feel like that's the most reliable thing anyway. I'm having another issue with we were talking about last week how there was 2 different dates for Yoshi.
Yeah.
They're doing the same thing to me for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It has 2 different days on the eShop and the app, and it's driving me crazy because I want it to be the earlier one, but I think the earlier one's wrong. But it doesn't it says that it releases on Wednesday. Like, nothing releases on Wednesdays. It's either like Tuesdays or Thursdays. That does seem strange. But on the app it says Tuesday, but on the console it says Wednesday, and I tried like preloading it because yesterday was Tuesday, and it didn't do it until today. So maybe it's not coming out till Wednesday. I don't know.
I would love for one of the major news outlets to actually read a feature on this, like call them out, like why are these about weird discrepancies between random games,
about the inconsistencies between the app and the
website,
console?
the app, the console.
Yeah.
It's very strange, and I've never heard anybody else mention it besides us. Yeah, somebody like an IGN or Kotaku write up an article and just say, "Hey, what's up with this?" And maybe that'll light a fire under them to fix it.
Yeah, the only thing I saw was like last week when Wario 64 said specifically that you had to get the Adventures of Elliot from the console and not the phone. That's the only time I've seen anybody specify, but he didn't really get it. They didn't really go any farther into it. It was just that you had to get it through the console. But yeah, it's really, I don't know. It's whatever. But but Ball Pit is cool. I like it so far. I'm not sure if I'll end up like buying it or not, but as of right now, it's keeping me entertained for those hours of podcast editing. It's doing that for me, So yeah, but yeah, I need to try to get some more of those buildings built, because I feel like what I have as far as characters is really not doing me a whole lot. So
It will help you out a lot to that's how you level up, so to speak. So
Yeah.
do that. Go back to earlier levels with characters you haven't beat them with and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I only have one level that I beat twice with two different guys, and I only have 3 characters. But yeah, no, it's I'll have to just.
I'm remembering now. Yeah, it's like one level. It's not.
I have
like
to grind.
stages.
Yeah, I guess I have to grind a bit. I guess But no, it's it's there. I finally get to try it out. So pretty cool. I did like
they give you the balls. It's your job to play with them.
Yep. The boss was kind of cool, like the moving skeleton guy or whatever. The animation's cool.
The bosses are super cool.
Yeah, I'm sure they
One of my
get better.
favorite parts
I've
of the
only
game.
seen one, so there's not I don't know a whole lot about it, but yeah. But speaking of other sort of free things that you can play, Pictonico is out now for mobile.
Did you download it?
I did download it, yeah, and I played it.
Okay.
I played it a little bit. So there's a free demo, but you also have to buy it. There's really not a whole lot.
That explains the paid.
Yeah.
Whatever they said.
So there's like 2 parts to it, which is weird. So all right, so I downloaded it. I saw it was available. I downloaded it. I tried it out. It's like, okay, this is a free demo, and I think it only lets you play like 1 round for free, or maybe 2 rounds of like. It's 100% WarioWare with pictures. Like it's the exact game except using
Looks like
pictures.
it's made by the same people.
Yeah, it's like except it's using your pictures. And I found out that I have 9,054 pictures on my phone today.
Oh.
That's a lot. 9,000. That's ridiculous. And it's scanned 500 so far of the pictures. And there's a thing at the beginning saying that it won't share any of your pictures with anybody and all that stuff. Like, there's a warning or just to reassure you or whatever. But they're all dumb pictures. Like, it's pretty hilarious. Like, it's like grabbing like screen grabs that I got from like from AEW Fight Forever. Like, I'm doing stuff with like Kenny Omega's head and like Nyla Rose, and because I took these pictures because they did this whole event where they used like custom made wrestlers made by like famous wrestlers, and apparently the game really likes that picture where it's like Adam Cole and Nyla Rose and Orange Cassidy and Kenny Omega. And they had all like made their own characters, and they keep pulling from that. And some of it's like super random. Like, you remember when we did our Patreon wish list episode, and I was trying to find a way to like share my wish list with you guys. So I took like 70 photos of my wish list. So some of these games are pulling pictures from the icons from games that are on my wish list. So I'm like, who the fuck is that guy? And I find out that it's from one of those FMV games or something that's on my wish list that I took a picture of. So it's like really random. But I did have a couple of them of Jeremy in there. Your face made it in there like 2 times.
Nice.
And there was one where I was like, I took a picture of it and I put it on Slack, where I was like putting together a picture, like a puzzle of a NintenDomain thumbnail that I made because all my thumbnails are like on the phone, because I post them to whatever social media through there. So there's some funny stuff. And one of them was like, it like grabbed a random face from like, for some reason I had the box of Age of Calamity in there, Hyrule Warriors, and it like took a picture from that. So it's like, it's real random. Like, you could see some really funny. Oh, and it was doing a bunch of stuff because I took a picture of my my Diamond Dallas Page mask that I made in high school. I made a clay mask of Diamond Dallas Page, the wrestler. And I had taken a picture of it to send it to Shake to show him, and it was on my phone. So there was a few games with Diamond Dallas Page's head that I made as a teenager. So it's pretty funny, but it's very much like WarioWare. It's like there'll be a thing where you move the mouth and it eats like corn on the cob, like very much like WarioWare eating the giant hot dog from like the first game on Game Boy Advance. Or like there's one where I'm like pulling a giant nose hair out of my nose, and it's got a lot of that nose humor in there, like the WarioWare games. But I did purchase the first volume. I spent $8 on it because I do love WarioWare, and this is 100% WarioWare. So
How many volumes are there?
there's 2 right now.
2. Okay.
So there's one volume. I don't know why it's split up like this. I was hoping it would just be like $10 and that's it, but it said there's 2 different volumes, and volume 1 is $8 and volume 2 is $6. So volume 1 is $7.99 and volume 2 is $5.99. but I haven't gotten through Volume 1 yet. But it's just like WarioWare. It's like a bunch of stages. They'll throw different they'll throw different stuff at you, and as you play through the different games, you unlock other modes. Like I've gotten like a Jimmy style random one with a mix of them. And you get coins to unlock stuff. I'm wondering if you can get like fun tools and stuff like that as you would, or like toys that you would in like WarioWare Twisted and stuff like that. I doubt that it's that good, but I don't know. It intrigued me enough to drop $8 on it because I'm a stan for WarioWare, and this game is pretty much WarioWare. And if you have
downloaded it already,
if you have
so
pictures
I'll
of
do
Wario in your phone, then he'll be in there as well. So. I think Link and Mario have already showed up just because I have pictures of them in my phone. And there was a game using the Midnight Bomber, What Bombs at Midnight, because I sent you that picture of the tick for your tick creation or whatever. And that's in my phone, so it's already scanned that and used that for. So it's like, you get to find out how many dumb photos you have in your phone. Apparently, I have over 9,000. So there you go. And it was like, it even showed me like. It was going to pull pictures from like Instagram and Twitter and like all these other places. It's like, because you can switch your album. Like it's on my phone album, but it also already scanned like the social media photos too. I was like, oh, whoa, how'd you do that? And it's like, here's your WhatsApp photos. There's only like 3 on there, but But yeah, I don't know. It's keeping me entertained so far. I mean, how little I like playing stuff on my phone, but I guess if it's your own silly pictures and it's WarioWare, then it makes it a little bit more intriguing to me.
Yeah, if you got WarioWare anytime, anywhere in your pocket, that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, there's plenty of times where I have to wait for food or whatever, and and I need something to do on my phone, and anything is better than social media, so I'll take that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So Pictonico, it's out now. Check it out. You can play some of it for free. Let's see what else. I went to GameStop again over the weekend on Sunday because Jess and I went to the mall to see a movie.
Nice.
We saw a movie at the mall, at the Chicago Ridge Mall, because it's close to us. It's like the closest theater that's over here, and I wanted to try it out because I've like delivered shit from there, and I think it looks. I don't know. I was like, this place looks all right. We should just go there and have a. We went to some like Asian fusion place and. Had food and then we went to a movie and then we went to GameStop and I bought some Amiibo. Nice. But I did see I saw
the perfect date.
I saw a Super Nintendo in there. I've not seen a Super Nintendo in a GameStop for a long time.
Oh, wow. At a mall especially.
Yeah, well because it wasn't for sale, but they had just bought one from somebody. Somebody had sold their Super Nintendo to GameStop. Man, I wonder how little they paid them for that. Like it's got to be.
Yeah.
It's like I know it's like desperate times right now for everybody.
Yeah.
It's kind of rough out there, but man, I didn't ask, but I'd hate to know like how little
they got ripped off,
little they got, because I know like any sort of resale place, they're going to sell you much less than it's worth because they got to make money off of it too. So I don't know, but I was just so surprised to see a Super Nintendo behind the register there. And I was like, oh, wow, there's a Super Nintendo back there. And he's like, yeah, they sold me an NES. Well, they sold us an NES and a Super Nintendo. And I was like, wow, okay. I was like, I knew you guys were doing retro stuff, but I didn't know if it was yet. But there it is. Actually, just found a 3DS on sale for $350 there.
Oh my god!
In like a glass case. So they're appearing again. The retro stuff is showing up, even at the Chicago Ridge Mall. At the GameStop, but I just knew there was a GameStop there. They got a food court with 3 different Asian restaurants, and they're not including the one that we went to, so technically 4. So I approve. They got a Korean corn dog place that has like 12 different corn dog flavors, so I'm into it. I haven't tried that yet, but I just think it's funny that people are into that stuff. There's like a ramen corn dog. It's a lot of carbs, but yeah. Anyway, I got some. So I noticed that there's been a huge sale on the Street Fighter 6 Amiibo. If you notice, the original $40 Street Fighter 6 we're selling for $12 at GameStop, which is funny because that was the original price of Amiibo when they came out.
Still should be.
I got a kick out of it. Well, I found out later that they were actually selling them for $8 at Best Buy, but then I'd have to go to Best Buy, and this was kind of like a spontaneous thing. I got some extra birthday money, so I figured I'd blow it on Amiibo. But But yeah, I picked up the other 2 Street Fighter 6 characters. So
Let's see him.
I got Kimberly right here. Here, let's
Very
nice.
switch my camera to the close up. All right. So we got Kimberly here. This is the one that I always thought kind of looked like Janet Garcia a little bit in the face. I don't know. I thought she kind of looked like her. I've been using her IGN guide to help me with Final Fantasy Remake. Saw her name on there,
Thanks.
so she's still with us. Anyway, this is here's the Kimberly one.
So size-wise, it's kind of like somewhere between a G.I. Joe and a regular action figure. Not quite as big as like.
It's
an
much
action
bigger.
figure, right?
It is bigger. I'd say it's about twice the size of the regular amiibo. These Street Fighter 6 ones are.
Mhm.
Like they are a lot bigger, but I mean this is really cool. Like this see-through plastic smoke thing where she's jumping. Like that's some cool design.
That's
there.
cool design.
I like
It's
that.
upgraded P stands.
I like that. Yeah. The P stands come a long way since the old Link one. Look at those braids. Look really cool too. I don't know. I mean, they were like it's like a quarter of the price of when they came out. So I was like, hey, why not? I'll get the rest of the Street Fighter 6 amiibo. I always kind of wanted
It's a
to get
nice
them.
deal.
I can get 2 of them for 20 instead of 80 when they came out. It's like so much cheaper. All right, so there's Kimberly.
It's like what they used to cost.
That's what I said. Yeah, when I looked at it, I was like, oh yeah, the original pricing of back in the Wii U days when they first launched. Now we got who's this? Jamie. I think is this the guy that drinks? There's one of them that's kind of like a drunk boxer guy.
Drunken
It's this
master.
guy where you like you can drink and the more you drink, like it varies your fighting style and all that. He's the
Well, he's upside down, so he's a pretty talented drinker. If that's the case.
He's the Bo Raicho
It's
of
it's the
of
whole
Street
like
Fighter
drunken
6.
master thing. Yeah.
He's the Bo Raicho of Street Fighter 6. That's the drunk guy from Mortal Kombat for people who don't know. Because Bo Raicho is Borracho. It's basically Spanish for drunk.
Borracho.
Is what it means. Borracho, yeah. But his name is spelled Bo Raicho like he's Chinese. But the joke is that he's drunk. But yeah, here's Jamie. He's upside down. He's got this cool thing too, and also more braids. They're really leaning into these braids here.
Waves and braids.
Yeah. I really wish they would have made. I mean, these are all new. I got Luke already. I got him like when the Switch 2 came out. These are cool and all, but I really wish. I kind of wish we would have just got some more classic amiibo. Like I would have paid $40 for Zangief if they made a Zangief amiibo. I would have totally done that. And, no,
Not enough plastic in the world.
no thoughts there.
Right. I think you should get an extra discount for that one being upside down.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's clearly a mistake.
yeah, it's not supposed to be like that. These boxes are gigantic too. Look at them; they're so huge. They're like almost as big as my face. But they're not as big
They
as.
they make me think of the big like amiibo thing in Splatoon.
Oh sure.
The big like box.
And I got one more. It's not in a box, but it was on sale, so I went for it. And that one is this one.
Oh hell yeah!
DK.
So I got Donkey Kong Bonanza. I've wanted this one since it came out.
Seems like the right day to get it.
I got it for $24, so it's not that much on sale, but I didn't care. I wanted this one. Look at how cool
Well,
it
it's
looks.
like it is 2 characters.
Yeah.
So it's
Look,
like
look how big that hand is. But I think what was it, 30? I think it was 30 when it came out, so it still hasn't really gone down in price. But I just love the way it looks.
That's a good one.
And I think this completes my Donkey Kong collection. I think I have all of the Donkey Kong amiibo now, because I do have because I got him. I got the dude. I got K. Rool.
King K. Rool.
I got King K. Rool.
He showed
Yeah.
him on the show.
Yeah, that one's really cool. But yeah, I bought one of the used ones. These ones were in bags, so I said that other place I went to put them in little boxes, and they were all kind of twisted. But these are better. I saw some like Fire Emblem ones that I hadn't seen before, but they were still selling those for $30 even used, so I didn't bother with that. But yeah, I got some more amiibo to add to the shelf. But yeah, this guy's he's so cool. He's so happy and smiling. And because I bought this, now they're adding Donkey Kong 64 to the N64 NSO. It's my fault because I bought this guy. No, it was announced today. It's not coming out till next week, but next week's going to be a big week. Also, Summer Games Fest starts next week, and there's a State of Play like on Monday or something like that. So it's going to be a big week for June. But yeah,
Right, it'll be our E3 replacement month.
I was noticing that how few releases there are this week, and like, oh yeah, we're coming up on June. That's why.
oh, there's still. I mean, there's still games. It's the Switch.
There's still
like,
games.
There's still
Yes,
like 10
still
games.
games.
Still like 10 games a week.
Not like it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago or whatever. But, yeah,
Yeah, I
We're
guess
not
not
up
as many big ones, but yeah, they're still there. But for all of you who are wondering, I did not see Mortal Kombat 2. That was not what I saw. It's not video game. It's not
I
video
think I
game.
know what you saw.
It's not video game related. I actually did already say it on the Patreon, but we went to go see the Mandalorian movie, Mandalorian and
Okay.
Grogu, which I liked. I liked it a lot better than the last Star Wars movie I saw in theaters. So I'll say that.
Are you all up to date on the Star Wars series? Have you seen them all?
Yeah, I've seen them all.
Okay.
Do you need to watch any of the new Mandalorian stuff to see this movie? No. I did.
Okay.
I watched because the last Mandalorian season was in like 2023. It was like 3 years ago. It was a long ass time ago. So I
watched it.
didn't remember anything that happened in the third season. So I just watched like the last episode before we saw the movie, and I was like, oh man, Mercedes Moné is in there. I forgot this big wrestler who it was right before she signed her contract with AEW. And then she was on AEW all the time, but I didn't really know her that well when she was on Mandalorian, but I forgot that she was on there, and I was watching and I was like, oh wow, she looks so familiar. And I was like, oh wait, that's Mercedes. So she was on there, and then she got an $8 million contract to AEW, and she was like she was the TBS champion for like a long time. Like she was undefeated, and then she got beat, and then she disappeared. But that's how they do that. Like somebody will keep their belt for however long, and then they'll lose it, and then they'll go on vacation for however long, and then they'll come back. But yeah, Mercedes was a Mandalorian before she was the AEW TBS.
I think
champ.
didn't they make Grogu some armor or something at the end of the last episode? That's kind of what I remember.
He was in like an IG-88 suit. He was like in a giant robot thing, and the robot thing could like talk for him. He could say yes or no.
But they actually made him a Mandalorian, and they made him like a little helmet or something.
No, he didn't he wasn't able to get a helmet because he couldn't talk. He tries to in the end of the third season because he can't say the Mandalorian oath because he can't speak. So he can't get the Mandalorian outfit. I just watched it.
Lame.
But he does get adopted, like whatever. Din Djarin and adopts him, and they get a little house together. This is at the end of season 3. But the new movie was, I was watching it, and it's got Jabba the Hutt's kid in it, and it's all about rescuing Jabba the Hutt's kid, Rhoda the Hutt or whatever. Just called him Rando the Hutt, which I think is funny, which is funnier than Rhoda. But but I was like, you know what, like. They made that other movie, the Star Wars Clone Wars movie. That was about finding a Hutt too. Like, what are they just obsessed with finding Hutts in movies? And then I realized later that it's the same fucking Hutt. like it's Jabba the Hutt's kid is the same Hutt that Ahsoka and Anakin go after in the Clone Wars movie. And now Mandalorian is going after that same Hutt, and now he's old and played by the dude from the Bear. So.
Dumb Hutt. He keeps getting lost. Like stay
By
lost kid.
Jeremy Allen White.
Yeah, Jeremy Allen White is the name of the new Hutt. I don't know. I thought it was. I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was fun. I like the idea of a Hutt being like super swole, like being like a wrestler. Like he's basically a big buffed out Hutt. It's like they can't all be slugs. Some of them. What happens if you work out as a Hutt? Can you get a six pack? And apparently you can. Because in that movie you can, but yeah, he ran away from his aunt and uncle who are trying to kill him to get Jabba's throne or whatever, and he becomes pretty much a wrestler, a performer, and he's trying to make his own way, and they finds out that his booker is trying to kill him or whatever. But it was good.
Gave me
it was
a
good
random
time.
thought. Is there in the Star Wars lore in the universe? Is there some equivalent to professional wrestling?
I mean, this is about as close as I've seen. I mean, it's supposed, it's real or whatever. I think they're supposed to kill each other, but I mean, there's plenty of times that we've seen characters fight each other for like, for fun or kill them or whatever. But it's never where it's planned or whatever. But there's plenty of fighting in rings. or in arenas or whatever, like that sort of thing. But yeah, we saw that. I thought it was a good time.
Pit.
Let me ask you another thing. To what degree does it feel like this is just a show on the movie screen?
You know what? Justin and I talked about that. I really didn't. We didn't feel like that because they definitely you can tell there's a lot more money in this than the show. Like there's a lot of big moments, like a lot of big stuff. You know, I was telling Jess that some people are like, oh yeah, no, it's just like an episode on TV, and Jess was like, well, there's a lot of stuff happening. You know, there's a lot of big set pieces and big moments, and you know, X-wings blowing things up and all that stuff. Like I feel like there's a lot more happening than a regular episode of Mandalorian. And it's like 2.5 hours long, so it's much longer than any of the shows.
Gotcha. Yeah, that was just one thing that,
Yeah, it's like 2 episodes.
It's like 3. They're like
since
45 minutes.
Well, since they started doing the Star Wars series and the Marvel series, and like the Marvel, I don't watch the Star Wars, so I'm going to use the Marvel as the analogy, right? The Marvel series on Disney Plus, they all feel big. They all feel like movie quality. They all feel like they have multiple millions of dollars pumped into every episode.
Sometimes, and some of them feel pretty cheap. I don't know.
on the whole, like big picture, look back at like the whole series or whatever. Pick any one of the series, yeah.
There's that episode where Wolverine was trapped in the cave for the whole episode, and he was just like talking about stuff.
I mean, Wolverine hasn't been in any of them yet.
I know. I'm just thinking of like the fridge episode.
You know, like a bottle episode, yeah.
I miss when we had more episodes on TV where we'd actually do that instead of getting like 8 episodes a season like we get now. For like 10 if you're lucky, maybe 13 if you're really lucky. But I miss like back in the day when we had like 26 episodes a season for something, where they could actually explore the characters a lot and not just, I don't know, like old school Star Trek. We almost had like 30 episodes a season for that. But no, yeah. I thought it was a great movie. I really enjoyed it. And the last movie we saw in theaters was Solo, and I thought that one sucked. So I thought this was much better than that movie. And I did not see Rise of Skywalker, but it's way better than that. I was going to say, as I told Jess, the last 2 Star Wars movies, well, not the last 2, but it was better than The Force Awakens and Solo, which were 2 Star Wars movies that I hated. So I liked it better than both of those. And it was fun. And we actually... I don't know, Jess liked it so much that they bought tickets to the back rooms for next week. So we're going back. We're going back to the mall. See another movie on Monday. So
what's cool about the mall is it probably actually has like those weird back rooms.
It probably does.
Stores and stuff.
Yeah, how many people are going to wander out of their theaters at the mall and like just go explore the mall? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I gotcha. After that movie.
What?
I was interested in seeing that movie. I want to see it.
Yeah, just got tickets because... we were going to go like Monday afternoon. As far as I can tell, we're the only ones that have tickets. And there was another thing is there wasn't a whole lot of people there. There was like one person like 2 rows ahead of us that was like that started. He like had his like his like seat all the way back, and he started checking his phone like this, where it's like right in front of the screen. And I'm like, dude,
he's like raising his phone up in the air.
It's like, dude, put your phone down. Like Jess and I both kind of yelled at him, and it's like, dude, put your phone away. Like we could see you like looking through Facebook right now, like fuck off. But other than that, everybody was quiet, and there was whatever. That was the only bad experience was that guy with his phone. It's like, come on, man, like just leave if you want. If you're bored, like get out of here. Like stop putting your phone in front of the screen. Like some of us care, but whatever. But yeah, it was I had a good time with that. It was there was a lot of cool. There was some fun Easter eggs in there. They had there's a part where they fight a whole bunch of monsters, and all the monsters are based on the holographic chess from the original Star Wars movie. So I appreciated that, and I recognized it without anybody telling me. Well, I recognized a couple of them, but I found out later that it's everybody from the holo chess that 3PO and Chewie play. So I always thought that was cool because they used one of those holo chess characters as a boss in Super Star Wars on Super Nintendo. So bringing it back to video games. But speaking of other video games, Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. I got it last week while we were recording. I played it for like one level. But Jess and we've been like slowly working through it together, and it's fun. I've actually been having a lot of fun with it. I ran into a part that actually was really hard that I almost rage quit, and I played it about 10 times. Then there's this so there, the way the game works, and I think it's really cool because it's different from any of the other Yoshi games, is instead of like being like a regular side scroller level where you go from like the beginning to the end, the point is to like, it actually kind of reminds me of Pokemon Arceus a little bit, because you're studying the creatures in the game is the idea, and you're learning different things about them, and whenever you learn something, it gets written in the book. And when you write it in the book, you get stars, which you can use to unlock later levels, which I think we've unlocked all the levels, or at least all the ones that are shown right now, pretty quickly. But we've just been like digging into finding all the extra shit. And there's some really, really cool details in there that I've really been digging. Like so there's these like clouds that have wings on them. They're called flu flies. The naming of these characters are stupid. And some of them are like, I was like, is that really the name? And then I looked back to the Super Nintendo game, and that's really what they were called. They've always been called that. I was like, wow, that's a dumb name. Because there's this big, like, pink Kirby-looking guy, and he's called Mild. His name is Mild.
Mild? M-I-L-D? Wow.
M-I-L-D-E. But yeah, I was like, that guy's always been. So I go back all the way to the Super Nintendo game. He was named that back then, even. So I was like, all right, well, they're keeping it on book or whatever. But so these flu flies. There's these clouds that have wings, and the level it's like an auto scrolling level, that goes from left to right or whatever, and there's like, I think there's 66 clouds total, and you basically have to stand on all of the clouds and make them form this ship in the end. So there's 2 different checkpoints you can get, or 2 different achievements you can get. You make a sailboat and you make a whale. And in order to make the whale, you make all 66 of them. But what's extra hard is if you stand on the cloud for too long, it'll disappear. And also if you ground pound any of them, they'll disappear. And if they disappear before the end, you won't get the achievement. So getting through the whole thing and standing on all of them and memorizing where everything is and not accidentally like ground pounding them was a headache. But I did it. And then I went back and did it again so I could capture it and put it on the Facebook because I forgot to capture it. But it took me like 4 times to do it on the second time even, so there's stuff in there that's challenging, is what I'm saying. Even though you can't die anymore now, there's no health bar or anything like that. If you fall in a pit, you just get put back on the map. But the challenge is in like doing the stuff, which I really like. And I found it a lot of fun. Like we were playing this one today where there's this big guy. He's called Thud. That's what they call him. But there's this big guy that's laying on the ground. And he's like breathing, and you can jump in his mouth, and he's got like grass all over him. He kind of looks like a character from Totoro or something like that. And you get in his mouth, and then there's the little arrow like moves back and forth, and you press jump, and you'll shoot out, and there's all these rocks, these rock balls that you break to get to different parts. And if you go, and there's like these 2 rays of sunlight, and if you follow those pathways, they'll go to like the next part that you need to get to. But if you go straight up, you find like these little flower guys, the crazy daisies. There's like 3 of them trying to pull this giant like radish out of the ground. And you got to gather up some other crazy daisies and hand them to them so they can pull the giant radish out of the ground. And when the radish comes out, it rolls down and falls into the mouth of this guy that's on the ground. And then he gets up and he starts walking around. And you can get inside him, and you can like move him while you're in him, and then you can shoot around like throughout the level. It's really cool. Like I had a lot of fun with it. He looks a lot.
Big mech.
He basically looked. I mean, you remember Fraggle Rock, right? You remember remember the big like puppets that like lived outside the world, the trash heap or whatever.
Those guys were called, yeah.
He looks like that guy. He looks like one of those guys, like the big like monster Muppet guys, which I love because I love those dudes. But no, I really love the way he looks, and we figured out that you can control him. And there's different things. There's like different pools of water where you can get him to suck up the water and spit it. And there's like a dry flower that you have to like water, and then it'll turn into a smiley face flower like that's been in all the other Yoshi games. But there's just all these really cool stuff in there, and that one was really fun walking around with that guy. And it's and it took like, and there's bosses. Like I've ran into a couple bosses in the game. One of them is just basically like Bowser Jr. is like the main bad guy in this. So he was inside of a castle, and you basically have to destroy this castle to get him out. And one thing I do kind of not like about the game is whenever you're replaying the level to try to get extra stuff, you have to fight the boss thing again. It's like it should just be gone. Like we should just start again. But whatever, because I was trying to find a way to get the water with the guy to feed the plants on the other side, but I have to destroy the castle in the middle. And when I destroy the castle, I lose all the water. So like I'll have to like I didn't do it yet, but I was telling Jess, I was like, well, we got to destroy the castle, and then we got to go back and get the other water, and then bring it all the way to the other side and water the plants over there, and then see what that is. But it's been fun. There was another one with these beak guys, where you take them and you basically throw them. Well, they're like they got like really sharp beaks, and you can pick them up and you can kind of throw them like darts. And there's a bunch of like targets around the world. And you get an achievement for hitting all the targets, but you get another one for hitting bullseyes on all of them. So I went around and did that. And also there's like a wood stump? There's like a wood stump on the ground, and if it goes straight down, you can ground pound it and it'll like split the wood in half, and then there's like something hidden under there. So there's a lot of really cool like discovery stuff in there that we've been enjoying. So it was a good time. There was this other level with these bubble guys, the frog bubble guys. They were in the trailer. They were in one of the trailers that they showed. But when you feed them different things, they do different stuff. So like if you get an apple and feed it to the frog guy, they'll turn like orange, and they'll make bigger bubbles that'll take you higher. And also you can feed them other stuff that'll make like heart bubbles, or if you give them mud, you can make like heavy bubbles that'll break stuff on the ground. There's just a lot of cool stuff to mess around with. So that's kind of what we've been doing. And it has a little bit of a Mario Galaxy-ness in there, because you'll like play a level and then there'll be like a variation to the level. Like you'll play a level and then you'll go and find a different creature, and then the creature will show up in that last level that you did before, and it'll be like, hey, go over here because there's this new thing there that you should try out. And then it kind of alters the level because there's other creatures involved with it. Like I was talking about the flue flies and making the whale and all that.
Yeah.
Well, once you find the Plumebrella, which is basically looks like an umbrella with a bird head. A lot of these look like Pokemon creatures too. Like Plumebrella totally looks like a Pokemon. But once you find Plumebrella, you can go back to the flue fly level, and all of the clouds are afraid of the Plumebrella. So you can basically run through and chase them all away. And there's achievement for that too. And there's like 200 of them to like do all of them. I couldn't figure out how to do that, because you can only fall down and not go up. And like I said, it's an auto scrolling level too, which I don't necessarily like. But I thought it was really funny that like if you tore your hair out trying to build like the whale with all the flue fly, you can come back and destroy the whale later. And I was like, that's obviously intentional, right? For anybody who was pissed off about making the 66 flue fly whale or whatever, you come back and it's already made, and you can just destroy it with the Plumebrella. And I was like, this is cool. I mean, that's obviously they were thinking there, to have you come back and do that. And yeah, it's all about just exploring the hell out of the levels. And yeah, I've been enjoying it so far.
Yeah, I've been looking at that, and I've been seeing some ups and downs, but the Metacritic says it's about an 80, which is a great rating.
I mean, that's what Metroid Prime 4 got.
Yeah.
I mean, I love that game. I don't know. Metacritic. I mean, IGN gave Mandalorian a 5. Who cares?
Sure.
I like that movie a lot. And I think they gave like Rise of Skywalker an 8 or something. That movie's a piece of shit. I mean, I don't know.
Well, I like Metacritic just 'cause, for the reasons that everybody likes Metacritic, but I'm saying 80 is like good score.
I mean,
overall.
it's like it's like the Rotten Tomatoes of video games, but I've gotten to the point. Right. I mean, I'm 46. I don't care about reviews anymore. I can make my own decisions on things.
Sure.
But 80 is fine. It's a fine score. It's no 40 or whatever that Rise of
like
Skywalker
reading sort of the ups and downs when I was reading the individual reviews. I was a little bit soured on it. I was like, oh yeah, I'd been on the fence, but I was like, oh, after the reviews, yeah, probably you're not going to get it. But to see that score, it was like, oh, man, maybe I would actually pick this up if it was on sale. Not right now, but if it was on sale someday for like $40 2 years from now or whatever, I'd pick this up. Yeah.
I mean, they just need a demo of a couple of the levels, just let you like just fuck around with some of the creatures, and I think that'd be really cool. Like maybe give you like the bubble level, or like the flue fly level, or like some of those like later ones, like past the Crazy Daisy one is kind of simple, but once you get into the stuff that's more, or like if you could do the Thud level or something like that, I think that would really turn a lot of people around who haven't tried it. And I listened to NVC talk about it, and I felt like they were expecting it to be a game that it isn't. Like they were expecting it to be something else, and that's kind
I
of
listened to that too. Yeah.
and I feel like that's, you could say, video games are going to hit you differently, depending on where you're at in your life or whatever. And sometimes I think people just expect things to be a certain way, and it isn't that. Like maybe they were hoping it was going to go away that it hasn't. And I haven't beat the game yet, but as of right now, I think it's really fun. It's a lot of fun. We've been having a great time with it.
Yeah, without giving anything away, in that NBC review, they did mention that there was like some point in the game, like halfway, where they're like, "Whoa, this is great! This is brilliant! This one idea," but that it didn't kind of take that ball and run with it. Have you gotten to that point since you heard that
No.
comment? Right?
I mean,
not got to that point yet. Okay.
No, I haven't got to that point yet. But I'm already having a lot of fun with it. That I don't see how that would make it worse for me, since I already like it. I think they didn't like it until they got to that point, and they wish that there was more of that point. It's kind of what I gathered from what they were saying. As I was saying, I think they expected it to be a different game. But, whatever. I don't care.
How about their assessment that it differentiates itself from Kirby, which was kind of the problem with the Yoshi series?
I never thought that was true, because it's not. I've played the Kirby games. I've played the Yoshi games, and they are not the same in any way. They're completely different. So I never thought that. I never believed that. So they were wrong for that line. So yes, I mean, I feel like it's differentiated itself from any other Yoshi game that's out there. It's definitely much different than, because many other Yoshi games, they like, especially like Yoshi's Island DS and like Yoshi's New Island, the game that just kind of just tried to do the Super Nintendo thing again, but not as well. This is actually doing something completely different, and I salute them for that. And it uses Unreal. What is it? Unreal Engine 5 or whatever. It's using 4 or 5, one of those, which I thought was interesting because Nintendo games don't normally use that. But I think it looks great and it runs great. And we've been having a good time with it. But I never thought you can't copy anything in any of the Yoshi games, so that makes it nothing like Kirby. You can't copy abilities. The world doesn't end at the end of the game. Where all of a sudden the game turns into Bayonetta. At least that was the last one. Kirby and the what was it? Kirby and the Forgotten Land turns into Bayonetta at the end of the game. That game was awesome, by the way, and it got really hard, even to where I quit because it was too hard. The second time around was annoyingly hard. The post-credit stuff, but that's most Kirby games. They're only easy for the first 2 levels, and then they get real hard. I give it a recommendation. I mean, we've only really fucked around with like the first 2 levels, but there's like multiple characters per level, and we've just been kind of just, like I said, just taking it slow and having fun with it. But there's a lot of stuff that I'm like, oh yeah, this is really fun. I got super addicted to that stupid Flu Fly level just because it was like, I was like, I have to do this, and I took a break for a second, and then I came back and did it again, and then I got it. But there were a couple times where I was like, it's just like one small thing and you fuck it up. And just the fact that you can only stand on them for a couple seconds before they disappear, just you got to keep constantly moving. And sometimes they would just run off. There'd be one of them that would just book the fuck off. And I'm like, dude, where are you going? I've been enjoying the game. But what else I've been enjoying a lot is Final Fantasy VII Remake, which I fucking beat yesterday. It's done.
Very nice.
Credits on Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Wow, you are a Final Fantasy super fan.
Yeah, I find it funny because I didn't like the original Final Fantasy VII game, but I love the remake. I do understand why some of the true hard fans probably don't like it because it's not anything like the other game. That's why. But I mean, it's basically like Ys. It's like an Ys game sort of, except it doesn't play as good. But I really like the action combat for it. It's the actioniest Final Fantasy I've ever played and liked. I mean, they've been trying to push this for a while, I think, right? Like, I remember when I first saw like Advent Children, and they had all the big like action sequences and all that. Like, I feel like Square was chasing that boat since that, and then they finally got to it, and that's this game. It's very actiony. I mean, I think you could actually play through this game, John, because it's really not.
They've been downloaded, yeah.
It's like the least RPG I've played. I mean,
I'm gonna give it a shot sometime.
It feels like it's like a Zelda game with a little bit extra depth, is what I would say. Well, depth is in like, there's like some equipping materia and like different spells and stuff like that. But I think even if you didn't understand any of that, you could still go through it just by hacking and slashing your way to the top. And even there's an easy mode too, where you can make everything like 999 damage or whatever, which I didn't do that. But there were some times where I found it pretty challenging, but I thought I was pretty good at it. I beat the super boss, I beat the Leviathan, and on the on the guide it said that even at max level, the Leviathan is still hard, and the max level is level 50, and I beat Leviathan at like 26, so I felt pretty cool about it because I played him the first time and I got destroyed, and then I went back and played him again. I got destroyed again. I was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna not do this for a while. And then I like was thinking about it. And I was like, oh wait, I'm gonna do it again. And then I went back and I beat him. So it was like, and I posted it online, and you could see me trying to freak out at the end, trying to like figure out where. I was like, where's the limit? Who has the limit? Because like if you get hit, it's almost kind of like a fighting game too. Like you have your super meter. And if you get hit enough times, your limit break happens, and you can do super moves, which you could in the original game. But the more you get damaged, the more that goes up. So if you're just fighting the guy and you're not getting hit, it won't get up. But that's part of the strategy to it. Like if you get hit by a really big move, you get your limit up, then you can do like massive damage and all that. So yeah, I couldn't believe that I did it, and it was I did a lot of healing and a lot of and you can't use any items either in those VR modes, in the Chadley VR fights or whatever. You can't use any items. You can only use your magic, and so if you run out of your magic, then you're fucked. As far as healing. But I made it through, and I was pretty proud of myself. But so I beat Leviathan, which after you beat Leviathan, it becomes a summon for you, and you can bring it out. So I used Leviathan for like the final boss or one of the big final bosses for the game. I'm like, fuck you, I'm bringing Leviathan on you. And it does some mad damage, and it was cool. But yeah, the game's great. There's a lot of parts where it splits you up, and you get to play as all the different characters. There's a part where you're like underground, and you get to play as Barrett. And Barrett was my favorite character of the whole game. And I realized that Barrett's basically the thing. He's the thing of this group. Like he's like no nonsense. I'll beat the shit out of you. Like he kind of talks like Ben Grimm. Yeah, he's huge, but. He's like no nonsense, all physical. Like the way he reacts like to everything kind of reminds me of like the the Thing from Fantastic Four. So I was like, yeah, dude, yeah. Barrett's totally the Thing.
He always says it's clobbering time.
He doesn't say that, but he still acts the same way as him. But he cusses a lot too, which I like. He says shit a lot, which I know that was a big deal when Final Fantasy VII came out that he said shit. But yeah, Barrett's awesome. He was my favorite character. He's got a gun for a hand. But you can also later you get weapons where you can actually fight where you won't have a gun. Like I got like a thing that kind of looks like a bowling ball that you could hit people with, and there's like a claw. You get a claw hand that you can, and it just completely changes up your move set. Like when you put that on because you're not shooting anymore. But I would kind of play it sort of like a shooter game where I like hang back and and you could shoot the guy and you kind of roll around. You can't really strafe, but I would love to see them make like a full on third person shooter Barrett game. Like what was that? Do you remember the Victor game that came out like for PS2? Victor was the vampire guy. Dirge of Cerberus, that one. Oh, okay. Like a game like that, starring Barrett, and you just go around and shoot people, and it's a third-person shooter. I want that game. I mean, I'd be surprised if they don't, because the third and last one is coming out next year at the 30th anniversary of Final Fantasy VII and 2027. And the word, the rumor is that it's going to get announced next week at Summer Game Fest. I was thinking that maybe that's why Final Fantasy VII Rebirth for Switch 2 is coming out on Wednesday, because that's where they're going to lay all the new information about whatever the third one is called, which the rumor is that it'll be called Return. But I don't know. But I was like, what if they get done with all these and they just, I mean, the characters are so charming. I could see them doing a sequel, doing a 7-2, whatever the fuck, Reloaded or something like that. I could see them continuing on because they're all kind of fun and they all have great chemistry between them. And yeah, it's a great game. It was an awesome game for $25. I only paid $25 for it. I spent 42 hours beating it. I was at level 39 at the end of the game. I rescued Red 13, which is the big the lab rat dog that they call him or whatever.
You can talk.
Yep, and you can't play him. Unfortunately, you can't play him in Remake, but you can play him in Rebirth. He becomes a playable character in that. But he's with you.
Yeah, he rides a Chocobo.
Yeah, Yeah, he does. I got that far. But no, he's with you. He fights with you, but you can't actually specifically control him. But you can in Rebirth, which I was kind of bummed about that I couldn't use him. But whatever. And it's kind of funny, like you find him, and there's these like time spirit things in the game. They look like the race from Harry Potter, or like Lord of the Rings or whatever, or like the time ghosts from The Flash. They're basically these little, like, they kind of look like the ghosts of Christmas present or whatever. And they're supposed to be like these whispers of destiny, and they're what trying to keep you on the regular path of the regular Final Fantasy VII or whatever, and they're breaking away from it because this is a remake and it's different and all this shit. I think a lot of that was kind of divisive, but for some reason, Red 13 knows everything about these guys. And when you rescue him, he's like, oh yeah, they're the whispers of fate and destiny and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, how do you know that? You're just a fucking lab rat dog. How do you know all this exposition?
They've showed him things.
So yeah, Hojo showed him all the shit in the lab. But no, yeah, it's an excellent game. It's probably one of the coolest remakes I think I've ever played, just because of how ambitious it is and how daring it was to be like, let's do a remake that's like so different from the original one. Let's completely make a completely different game. And you know what? I say hats off to them for that. To just
I like that they didn't really
just for going balls out with it.
To my recollection, they didn't tell anybody that's what they were going to do. They just kind of put out this Final Fantasy VII remake and let people play it and discover that, oh, it's actually different. That's pretty cool.
Well, I think if you had played any of the previous Final Fantasy games up to that, you could tell that Final Fantasy was trying to go away from the turn-based battle and all that. So you kind of knew that was where they were going with the action combat. Because because 13 was very action heavy. Like since then, I guess, and even 12 was like somewhere in between. Like it was kind of more Xenoblade than like old Final Fantasy, from what I've heard, which makes me want to try that one out too. But
I guess I was speaking more as in terms of the narrative changes that they made to this.
Oh yeah. I don't think people knew about that. Like, and they definitely, like, there's a part where where like Barrett gets killed, but he doesn't. There's a lot of stuff where they. I mean, obviously, if you've seen the cover of Rebirth, you know that Aerith doesn't get killed yet, and I think she still hasn't gotten killed in Rebirth. So I think they're really trying to fuck with you, and I like that, where it's like, let's take the story and let's fuck with it. Let's not do the same thing again. Like I would much rather see like a Ocarina of Time remake like this than whatever. We'll probably get something similar to the Star Fox game, is what I'm thinking. But I would rather I would love to see them just go nuts and be like, all right, I said it on the Patreon, but let's do like 2 Ocarinas, like Adult Link and Young Link, and they're 2 different games, but it's going to be super weird, and let's just go crazy with it. And yeah, I mean, I would have loved it to be like this game, like Final Fantasy Remake.
I'm always wary of remakes. I've already played that before. Why do I want to do it again? Just if you're going to re-release something, I want you to like leave it the same, but make it look sharper, prettier. Don't change it. To give it like a high res, like we always say.
Yeah.
Anything beyond that, it's like, why are we doing this? You're doing it in a whole new engine and all this stuff. Make something different. I got infinite games to play. Why am I going to play one again that I've already played? Do something different that comments on, what it is to remake a game. That sounds interesting to me.
Yeah.
I'd play that,
Yeah, no, and they do a great job with it. It just kind of blows my mind that, a Final Fantasy game that I didn't really, it's the Holy Grail when I was a kid, I really, really wanted to play it. And I played it a little bit, and then I finally played through it like when I was like almost 30, when I finally bought a PS3, I played through it on there, and I was like, meh, I got it all through, and I was like, that's got nothing on the Super Nintendo ones. But now I'm like super into this one. I'm super into the remakes. But I think it's because a lot of it reminds me of like Xenoblade and like Ys and like that sort of combat.
Yeah.
And it totally feels like Xenoblade's combat minus the auto combat. So in Xenoblade, like, you choose different arts, like to different moves to use, and then they charge up and all that. It kind of works like this too. But you fight, you hit a button and you hit somebody, and then it goes up, and then you can use it. But in Xenoblade, they auto attack, and then you pick your extra. But it's kind of the same if you just hit a button to attack instead of the auto attack as far as the fighting goes. And there's topple stuff too, which you would do in Xenoblade. There's like, you have their like life meter, but there's also like a topple meter that you can follow. They call it a stagger meter, but it's the topple meter. It's very similar to like the way you do a lot of the battles and that. And maybe that's why like I just fully understood what they were doing. And there's a part in the original game where Cloud wears a dress in order to get into a beauty competition or whatever with Don Corneo. And I loved every moment of that part in this game. Like they just made it so queer, and it was so much fun. Like I posted it on Slack, the rhythm dance competition thing that you have to do to qualify to get the dress and all that, and it just was. They just totally went with it, and the dude who gets the dress for you is like super gay, and I love it. They were like, let's make this not weird. Let's make this not toxic, and let's just lean into it and just make it.
See, I'm sure it's still weird, but
super over the top and flamboyant and all that, and I just
there were lots of like
I
zooming cameras and
yeah, it's fun. It was really fun. Like, and that's only like one small bit of it. Like, you don't have to do like a whole bunch of rhythm stuff. There's just like there's like a practice mode, and then you do the whole thing. And I don't think, I mean, I did fine enough to where I don't know if you'd have to actually repeat it, but. And I found out later that there's like 3 different dresses you can get for Cloud depending on like how many missions you had done before. Like if you go through and don't do all the side missions, you get like the shittiest dress. Like the same with like Aerith's dress. And Tifa like asked you a question earlier in the game, and whatever you answered that'll choose whatever dress she wears later in the game. So there's all this like cool stuff like baked into the story, and yeah, it's good. It was a good time.
You know, so we have a big remake just around the corner, and how cool would that be if we all get Star Fox and then we're playing the game and like halfway in we discover, oh, there's a path. I don't remember this path in the game before, and it like opens up a whole other side. We basically have another equivalent of say the underground from Tears of the Kingdom that like isn't revealed to us until that day. Like I hope they do something like that with the Star Fox remake. I don't expect that, but just on the subject of remakes, that would be like amazing. That would take that Star Fox game from cool, fun to like next level. And I wish they would do that, but they probably won't.
I was really hoping there would be something, especially with showing like the showing like the prologue with Fox's dad. Like I was like, there's got to be something else about that. They got to at least let you play as like as James McCloud or something. Like I feel like. What I'm hoping is that we're going to get all the stuff from the regular 64 game, but there's going to be this whole other part that's almost like a whole nother game that's new. That's what I would like to see in the game. But, you know, I mean, and Nintendo's done that plenty of times where they've, you know, like the Underground, they never really showed that for Breath of the Wild.
That's one of the best surprises in all of video game history. And we were all talking about it on that day. If you were playing that game, which you were, that reveal slowly a couple hours after the game was released, and everybody figured that out collectively, that was awesome. That was like, how did you keep this a secret? And hopefully they do that again. Yes, at some point. Maybe it's with Star Fox.
I have a feeling there has to be something, right? Maybe not like a whole nother game worth of extra stuff, but there has to be like some. I think there should be like some bonus secret levels or something that's new. Like I don't think that. I think it would be weird for Nintendo to show you everything up front, because they normally don't. You know, they want you.
There's always a chance for DLC.
Sure, I guess, but I want to have some fun stuff in there. But I ended up getting some eShop money from both of you for my birthday. Thank you. Last week, and I thought about a whole bunch of different games. I was like, oh, I could get this, but I just got Final Fantasy Rebirth with it, as I said earlier. So nice. I had just enough money. I only had to pay 11 cents, so it covered pretty much the whole purchase of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Glad we could support your Final Fantasy VII habit.
Addiction, yeah. Well, I was going to pay for it anyway, and I was like, you know what? Rebirth comes out next week. I should just hold on to it and just pay for that. And I did, and so that's where it went to my Final Fantasy VII addiction. I even thought about playing through the demo again while I was waiting for it, but I started on the Intergrade, which is a whole nother thing. So there's a whole nother story on the game on top of the regular game.
Yeah, it's like the first DLC, right?
Yeah, I guess it's the only DLC that was for Final Fantasy VII, because Rebirth didn't have one. But yeah, it was Intergrade because it came out in between the release of this and the other one. And it's really cool how they put it all together, because like the end of the game shows like Zack, who's the main character in Crisis Core, like in the PlayStation Portable game remake that I bought last week.
Yeah. And
then they re-released that game like right after they did Remake, and it was all about Zack, and they redid all of the graphics to look like Remake. and called it Reunion, and then made it part of the. It's just so cool how they did all that stuff. Like I thought that was neat. But yeah, Intergrade, you play as Yuffie, and I haven't gotten that far, but it introduced another like side game called what's it called? Fort Condor Fort, something like that. I don't love it as much as Queen's Blood yet because I don't really know how to play it. But there's a bunch of missions about that. But apparently that's only supposed to be like 5 or 6 hours for the Intergrade stuff. But I still got to get through that. But I'm hoping to get through that before next week. I should have plenty of time. But yeah, lots of stuff there. I took like a whole hour, but I had too much shit that I played. I guess we need to take a break now.
Yeah, let's do a break.
All right.
Break time.
Let's take a break.
Hey, you.
It's me, Mario.
Yeah, you. Subscribe to our Patreon to hear our bonus shows, which happen every month.
I'm tired.
Tired of all the big corporate podcasts spoon-feeding you the same old video game news on every single show?
Spaghetti. Ravioli.
Then expand!
With NintenDomain Expansion Pack.
It's us talking about old games that were important to us. It's us interviewing people that we meet at conventions. And heck, it's live shows from those same conventions. It's basically everything you could want that NintenDomain ever made.
Here we go!
And it's just $1 a month.
That's less than a bad indie on the eShop.
It's $12 a year, which is less than Nintendo Switch Online.
Thank you so much for subscribing to our Patreon and supporting NintenDomain.
Just go to patreon.com/NintenDomain podcast and hey, Mario, let go. Whoa! He's throwing us back to the show.
So long, Bowser.
Patreon.com/NintenDomain podcast.
Game over.
Back from the break. What you been doing, Jeremy? I know you got some new games.
Yeah, about a couple new games this week. So the one I've been playing the most probably is Rune Dice, which there was a demo of it that came out last week, and I think it was either last week or the week before. And it kind of looked like one of those games that I probably wouldn't care about, but it did. Like, it's hard to explain. Like, it looks a lot like Peglin, a game that was one of my favorite games a couple of years ago.
Oh, yeah. I remember Peglin.
But the mechanics are not quite as fun, I would say. So instead of like playing like a Peggle type game where you've got enemies on the top that you're fighting, you're rolling dice, and there's like kind of unique physics this game creates where it's sort of hard to explain, but it makes sense when you play it, where if you roll a dice and it's a 1, it hits another 1. The 2 dice become a single 2, but then those 2 1 dice appear in your attack queue on the left side of the screen, and then that's, once all the dice stop moving, And when they become a 2, it'll like bounce up, and then there will be like sort of like a gravitational pull towards wherever the nearest 2 is on the board. So it kind of creates this like chain reaction thing if you do your shots right. There's a little bit of almost like billiards sort of bouncing shots and stuff you can do, but these are cubes, they're not balls. So they behave very differently, and I'd say more erratically as a result. Also, you can control the speed, and I realized I was like, these physics seem kind of janky, and then I realized I'd accidentally set the speed to like double the speed. So the physics aren't going to seem right if you do that. But the game's a lot more fun to play because it goes faster. So that's just how I play it now. But it's a lot like all these other games where you unlock more characters and you can level up your characters, and then you're on this like sort of grid. It's like a branching path that you go up towards a boss, and there's different sections you go to where you'll either do battles against like a group of enemies or maybe like a mini boss, or it'll be like an area where you fight. You don't really fight like a jester, but you try to throw the best roll you can to get bonuses. And then there's just like stuff like that where you can sort of level yourself up. You can buy more dice, and all of your dice appear on the field at the beginning of the turn. So the more dice you have, the easier it is to create chain reactions and stuff. So I
looking
played
at
the
it right
demo.
now, it seems like a good pitch for, as like you said, dice meets billiards, just as like a starting point
Yeah.
for understanding it.
I was wondering if it was like is it like Balatro with dice kind of? I mean, it's a roguelike thing, right?
I mean, if you've played, I don't know if you ever tried Peglin, but Peglin's the best comparison I
Yeah,
have.
I played Peglin. I bought it.
Yeah, it's like Peglin.
I bought it when
I
it
even
came out.
like did some research to see if they were made by the same company because they look so similar, but they're not.
Yeah, I didn't play it
But
as much as you do,
I'm
but
sure it was
did,
inspired by
but I
Peglin.
did play it for a good amount.
Yeah. Just like how the balls that you throw have special properties. That's the way the dice are in this. And then there's different relics and stuff you can get to make yourself stronger overall.
Oh yeah, the
For the
whole
run.
the whole like look of the game looks like almost exactly the same as Peglin. Like
It is. I mean,
with the
it's-
layout on like the stuff on the side
Uh-huh.
and it really looks similar.
Characters on top, yeah.
Yeah, the characters
Yeah,
on
and
top where they
mean,
fight each other.
it's a winning design, I think. Like, it works well. I don't, I'm not certainly going to be out here being like, they stole this look or whatever. Like, I don't feel bad. Like, I don't feel like they did anything wrong here. It's just, it's an indie game that's got some common elements, and, but ultimately it's a roguelike where you have dice instead of some other mechanic to fight RPG battles, turn-based battles. And their positioning on the board and everything affects like how you hit them, and like if you have like an electricity attack, it'll chain through all the enemies, or if you have like an attack where you fire something, it'll hit the enemy in the back row instead of the front, or just different like strategies you can sort of do, but you're still sort of beholden to the randomosity of physics.
Also,
Or
in
the
some way,
seeming
it seems
randomosity of it.
very lightly like on UFO 50. What's the one that we all like? Lords of Disconia? Like,
Hey, it's a little bit like that, I guess.
that you have like a play field, and
Yeah.
I'm sure it's about proximity to the intended target and how to bounce off the walls to get there and all that.
Yeah, I'd say in that regard, it's the same. You're not in danger of going off the board usually, unless you bounce off the back wall and then go off the back side. But you're not really penalized for it, other than just not getting an attack. You get a round where you don't get an attack in, but the enemies do. So I guess that is a penalty ultimately. But there's another thing where it's like every, I think, 4 rounds the board refreshes. So the dice might be getting kind of crazy, and you've gotten rid of all the ones you can match up, and you're like, oh, shit, now what? And then the board refreshes. That helps a lot. But a lot of the times when the board refreshes, that's when the bosses throw out special die, and that's where I've begun struggling. I'm on the 6th boss in the game, and it's really hard because they spit out these random die that break your chain. Like wherever you hit it within the chain of your attacks, it basically cancels everything after that. So it's annoying because, like I said, the randomosity of the dice, like, and it would be the same way in Peglin. Like, the randomosity, it's kind of part of the fun, but also when you're trying to like strategically fight a boss and precisely avoid certain things, it's not exactly good for that. And there's some things to the game that I wish were kind of a little more like, I kind of wish you could control like the force that you throw the dice with, but you can't. It's always the same amount of oomph,
Oh yeah,
so to speak.
You can't change like what percentage of like if you want to like
you can change your
throw
angle
really
and all
hard.
that,
Can you
know,
like
but
can you do the NES Monopoly thing where you hold it and the hand like
no.
shakes on the screen? It doesn't do
I
that.
wish.
Careful with that motion there.
I wish. I'd have. I always loved doing the jerk off motion.
Calling it back to the old. My favorite,
Monopoly.
my favorite moment of jerk off motions in video games is Mario Party 8, where you where you shake up the cans and like whoever shoots the soda the farthest wins.
Oh, wow.
It's even like within the way
Yeah.
the way the game is. Like it was so funny because it shows Mario's hand like with the Wiimote doing this. It's like. I mean, it obviously they're not even trying to hide it there. I mean, you're shaking up a can and then you're spraying it like up in the air, and whoever has the highest one, it's like, come on.
And it was called the Wii.
Our friend Bethany always had a theory that whoever won the button tapping games on Mario Party was the one who masturbated the most, and that was pretty much the new Mario Party 8 version of it, I guess. Where it really is just
I think
like
it's a solid theory.
doing this. But yeah, anyway, Dice. Yeah, no, I should check out the demo of it. It does look a lot like Peglin. Is this one of those where it's like free on the phone like Peglin was? Or
No, right now it's only on. As far as I know, it's only on Steam and Switch. But I don't know if it's on other consoles. But so I will say one of the things that this is an example of a game that were it not for a demo, I probably wouldn't have bought it. Because, I would have just written it off. But I went to play the demo. I'm like, I don't know if this is for me. And I went to stop playing it. But then I just kept playing it. Like, it was almost like I was starting to get hooked on it and didn't even realize it. And so that's what I meant earlier when I said I tried to say no dice, but then I ruined it because I ended up buying the game. Because the demo was good enough. And I think that's a testament to them as a game company doing the right thing, putting out the demo, having it be a demo that has limited features, and I would say the demo is not even remotely as fun as the final product because you're like unlocking stuff, but you can't actually access it. So it kind of is teasing you in that regard too. But once you have the full version, which does not transfer from the demo, by the way, it's you have to start all over again. But the game's just got so many more features, and it's a lot more fun. So yeah, don't let the demo dissuade you. But if you have if you have fun with the demo at all, maybe give it a try. It's not on sale anymore. I bought it when it was on sale, but
it's like $15 though. It's not that expensive.
It's not an expensive game, and you're supporting a small team.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap as is. So I'll have to give it a try.
Yeah, if you like Peglin, you might like this. Then the other game I got this week was Sektori.
Yeah, you
talked about it a few times.
Sektori. Yeah, you got the Sektori that was.
I had to prove that I am. There is a schmuck person on this podcast.
You didn't.
I'm sorry, I made that statement.
You didn't go for.
It's okay.
I'm surprised you didn't go for the R-Type game. I guess Sektori is probably cheaper, right? Because
Sektori is cheaper, and it seemed like it had more to it because R-Type's more like a narrative, maybe not narrative, but it's a beginning to end kind of game, whereas this one,
Sektori, is more like
you can just play it over and over again,
like
and
high
it's always
score
going
or
to be
something.
slightly different. Yes, it's score chaser, which I guess R-Type can be too. But so I will say I haven't ever really played Geometry Wars, so I know there's been comparisons to that.
Yeah, me either. But it just the look of it kind of reminded me of it from what I've seen.
But this is it's a wild looking game. All the models are super simplistic polygons that are really brightly colored, and then you've just got all these crazy particle effects and explosions and everything, and after a while you'll get bullets and stuff, but initially I don't even know if I'd call it a bullet hell. I'd call it a bad guy hell. I don't know, because you're just avoiding all the bad guys that are trying to kamikaze into you, and there's just waves and waves and waves of them, and then the entire time the structure of the actual level keeps changing. And you'll sort of get a preview that it's about to change, because you'll get kind of an almost wireframe preview of how things are about to change. So you need to make sure you get out of solid walls and stuff, or it'll kill you. So you're always on the move to not let the environment kill you or all of the obstacles. And while you're doing that, it's a twin shooter, so it's just chaotic. You're free movement, everywhere in this 2D plane, and then also like your bullets, you can shoot everywhere, any angle at any time, and it's super responsive and fluid, and it's just so fun to play, and it's hard. It's really hard. I think the longest I've lasted was like 3 minutes, a little over 3 minutes. And I've played a lot of runs. But just the further you get, you like start fighting bosses and stuff, and they're really tough, and they like, maybe the camera angle will even change a little bit to kind of throw you off at first. Like, oh no, a boss is coming. Like, it kind of creates more tension that something's about to change. And it's just constant. Like, at first it's really stressful. At first it kind of made me not want to play anymore. But I'm like, I just got to keep trying. And after a while, it gets like almost like you're just like in a trance playing it. And that's a good game. That's a good game when you can like the game can kind of pull you into like this otherworldly trance where you're like, as far as I can tell, my reflexes are better in that sort of focus, and it's just very satisfying to blow things up, and you're blowing things up constantly. It's crazy. It's a crazy game. I love it.
Looks like
I don't even really completely understand it. I didn't mention, you get like, so for every X amount of enemies you kill, you get like an upgrade module, and you can save those up kind of like you can in like Gradius or R-Type, and then you can sort of like see the sort of over on the left side of the screen, it shows the what current level you're at. It could be like blasters or the speed of your ship, or you can give yourself shields so you can take an extra hit. All these different things depending on how many of these you collect in a row. And then if you collect all of them without leveling up, and it circles back around again, that's when you get an evolution module that will let you do things like that are really helpful, like add a drone that'll help you fight, and maybe like missiles that'll fire out of the side of your ship too, and it just makes it easier and more fun. You just keep getting more powerful, and the more powerful you get, the longer you can last. But it's so easy to just get distracted and killed by something hitting you from behind because there's so much going on. Yeah, it's such an abstract game that's probably about the best way I can describe it. It's constantly changing, and I would not recommend people with any sort of epileptic tendencies play this game. It's
super flashy.
One of the most flashiest games I've seen on the Switch ever. Well, especially the Switch 2. And I love it. It's a great game. It's got great music, great presentation, and I'll probably be playing this one for a while. I don't have any like grand plans to beat it or anything like that, but I at least want to unlock some features. Like there's other modes and stuff you could unlock, but as far as I can tell, I have to beat like 3 bosses in one run to do that, and I've successfully beaten 1 boss in a run, but then then I got to fight 2 more, and I don't make it. So yeah, cool game.
Nice.
Lastly, though, this week on PlayStation Plus, maybe. Well, I guess it's a little late. I was gonna say maybe because of May the 4th, but we're a little past that. But they added Star Wars Outlaws to PS Plus.
Yeah, I saw it was added, but I don't remember how early it was, or if it was closer to May the 4th or whatever.
It wasn't there when I checked a couple weeks ago. So
do you still have you like renewed your PS Plus? Because I think it went up, or it
did, but I'll have to check my bank statement. To be honest, I don't know if I got the higher price, but I kind of like this game. I mean, it's super cinematic.
You played the Switch 2 demo, right? Of it?
I thought I had. I guess I never did.
Oh, because you said I thought you did, and you didn't know what was happening.
No, I was getting it confused with the Fallen Order, I think, or whatever that other one was. That was on PlayStation 4 and 5 before it came to the Switch. So there's another adventure-y one.
I'll say Fallen Order isn't on Switch.
Well, then I don't know what I was playing because I don't remember.
Because I don't know what they give you for the demo for it. Like it could have just been
didn't seem anything like this.
It could have just been like a piece of like something that's not at all like the game. But no, I mean Outlaws was that was like number 7 or something on my best games.
Did you ever finish it
of the year? No, I didn't finish it because it was.
Well, I'm enjoying it so far, and it feels it feels like very much like an adventure game, and so far, like also I'm just like on the standard difficulty level, and it hasn't seemed difficult at all. I'm sure it'll get more difficult, but
It's it's an open world. I mean, it's like a sandbox game, basically, is what I would say. Especially since you have your little bike thing that you can call whenever you want, and they'll drive
you
you
got
around.
like a cute little pet.
Oh yeah, Nix. Yes.
Who can like straight up kill bad guys for you.
Yeah, it'll distract people, and you get points for that too if you can distract them and shoot them from the back. There's like extra achievements that you can do for certain characters or whatever in there.
But if nothing else, this game has it's really pretty. I like how the way the characters animate and stuff, their facial features and everything like are done really well. It's not trying to be hyper realistic. It's stylistic still, but
It looks really good on Switch too. Also,
and also I get to hang out with a hut, so the huts are back.
Yeah. Well, it's I mean, you figured out there's the whole like balance between the three different. So there's like the huts and the Crimson Dawn and the Pikes or the other one.
Yeah.
And
where there's like they get them all together and then slaughter them at the beginning, or like representatives from each of them. It was very Yakuza like. It was like a bit of a Yakuza game or something.
Well, you could do different jobs for different ones, but in order to do one, you'll be screwing over another one, and there's like a meter showing like how well they like you. Yeah. And if they dislike you, there's like areas you can't. Well, you can go there, but they'll try to kill you when you get there, which I always thought was.
So
really,
I'm
really
like
cool.
right at that part. So basically, the whole intro part is you getting off this planet, and then you go to another planet, and that's where I'm at. So I've like started to kind of try to find stuff to do or whatever. But in order to find work, I have to like sneak through this place because, like you said, these people don't like me, but I have to get to whoever the guy is to give me this job so I could start whatever I got to do to fix my ship.
There's guys you can pay off to get your reputation better, like that you find later.
Yeah,
like
it seems that way.
If you want to try it, or they can like make it, because you can you can get like wanted status from the Empire and all that, and there's guys you can pay to get that down too, so the stormtroopers won't try to kill you when they see you or whatever. But there's a lot of cool stuff in it.
But it's a fun game so far. So
have you played
I don't know how much I'll play it.
Have you played Sabacc yet? The Sabacc's a lot of fun to play in there. Yeah, the card game was really cool. And in the Mandalorian movie, Sigourney Weaver, whenever she hands out whenever she hands jobs to the Mandalorian, she uses Sabacc cards, and I was like, oh yeah, I recognize those from that game from Star Wars Outlaws. Yeah, I mean it was a card game in Star Wars. Like it was first time I heard about it was through the Star Wars role playing game, but it's been talked about for years. We did actually get we got Grogu cards from the movie also. They're both the same, but they should have been Sabacc cards. That's what I said. They should have been Sabacc cards, and they should have had different characters from the movie, not just Grogu.
But yeah, I don't know. I'd recommend it, especially if you have PS Plus, as I usually would for any of these games. But like, I don't know. I haven't played a modern Star Wars game that actually felt fun to me in a long time, and this one's fun so far. So that's a good sign. And yes, I will admit I haven't tried everything, and I maybe haven't given enough games a chance. I'll admit that. But just for me, like, I've just never really been into Star Wars games. Like for whatever reason, either they get too hard too soon, or I just lose interest, or both.
I mean, I recommended this game to both of you because it's an open world Star Wars game.
And I like
you can fuck around
it's
with.
more accessible. Yeah.
It has a little bit of.
I tried the demo.
You could say it's a little Grand Theft Auto-y minus stealing cars because you don't need to because you always have a car of your own.
Maybe Red Dead Redemption-y.
But you can also shoot whoever you want for the most part as long as you're not into town. But I found it really fun, and I don't know if the PlayStation 1 does too, but the Switch one had all the DLC, so you could do like the Lando missions, and it was all just like worked into the story, I guess. So you could just do the deal, because I ended up on a DLC mission and didn't even know, because I guess it's just in there. I just happened to find Lando, and he was like, "Hey, work for me," and I'm like, "Okay, sure."
I don't know if I've got the deluxe edition or whatever. It's whatever that was available, but we'll see.
I did find it annoying that the main character introduces herself constantly. I wanted to put that in my Game of the Year thing where she's like, "Hi, I'm Kay Vess. I'm Kay Vess. Hi, I'm Kay Vess." She says it like 200 times in the game. It's take a shot every time it happens.
They try to make her out to be like,
quickly.
she's maybe this is on purpose, but I don't know. She just comes off more bratty than like criminal. Like she wants to seem like a hardened criminal, but she's like.
I did really like though. Speaking of like midway stuff that turns. I mean, it's in the beginning of the game, but I like how they like kind of set it up like most Star Wars games do. About it's like, oh, you're gonna run with the rebels, and they all kind of turn on you, and they kind of fuck you over at the beginning of the game.
Fuck you up. They fuck you over.
I really like that. That was a fun, like, unexpected thing, because you're gonna be like, oh, well, fuck them. I like how she, she plays for herself, and there's like you'll meet some other characters that join your crew too later. There's like a robot dude that helps you out. I mean, he's on the front cover, so you'll see him.
Yeah,
eventually.
I'm not. You don't have to worry about spoilers or anything for me with this game. It's more about just the gameplay itself being fun, and that's important to me. And the set pieces and everything are really nice. As I would consider myself a Star Wars fan.
Hopefully,
of the original trilogy.
Hopefully you like Tatooine. There's a lot of it in there. I mean, you get like the whole planet. I mean, it was pretty cool to go to Jabba's palace. Like I liked doing that and walking around and looking at all his collection of pets and whatnot. I didn't see Rhoda there though. Where the fuck is Rhoda at? Because he would have had him by then.
She went back to Mary Tyler Moore's show.
What's his name? Jeremy Allen White. Because he would have. Because Clone Wars was like was in between 2 and 3. So Jabba the Hutt. I mean, I don't know. I want to know about this whole Jabba the Hutt family and where he got a kid from.
I want to know why some of them look like giant slugs and why of them, what happened to their legs. Some of them look like so humanoid, it's unreal. And then the last thing I want to talk about this week, and it's something I was kind of proud of, and I still am, but there's been some complications. So, all right, I've been talking for years on this podcast about how it was basically starting when we moved into this apartment in 2021. So, this house rather. So, about 5 years. I've been talking about I want to make a game corner in one of the rooms of my house where it's specifically a music game corner because Sean and I both love music games so much. And I have so many of them, and I have so many plastic peripherals. Trey, you can relate there. It's like I kind of want to use these things and to kind of justify the fact that I own them, and then also it could be kind of a cool little like got people over like a little hey, let's go over play some Guitar Hero or whatever.
Sure. We just have a music closet. That's what we have. That's where we keep all our plastic instruments.
Well, this week or a couple weeks ago, I was watching a YouTube video and somebody reviewed this. I don't know. It's just kind of giving an insight into my thoughts here. Somebody reviewed this TV. Like, there's these like portable TVs you can buy now that are like it's a full HDMI TV that you can plug inputs into and stuff, but it's got like its own battery power, and so it's like technically a portable TV. I mean, it's not extremely transportable if it's a giant TV, but you know what I mean. Like, it doesn't have to be plugged in to watch a couple hours of content or whatever. And I was like, that'd be kind of cool to have for my game corner because I wouldn't have to, because the big thing about that is that I bought like a really cheap TV mount, but I'm like scared to like dig in the wall because we don't own the house. So I was like, what if I had like one of those stands? And then I was like, wait a minute. Well, okay, so in the YouTube video at the end, the guy was like, I could have just built my own stand for a lot less money and attached it to a battery pack I already have. Anyway, I sort of did that. I bought this stand. I think I paid about $40 for it. And it's a mobile TV stand that's just like wheels and a long, it's like pretty heavy at the base. It's got caster wheels on it. And then it's just like a long column. And there's a shelf on it. So you could set a console or whatever you want. And then your TV's up at the top. And then it's kind of got like cord managing solutions built into it. You can run like the power cords through the actual tower and stuff. And then I duct taped because it didn't have a way to mount it, I duct taped a power strip to the bottom. So I hooked up my PlayStation 2 with Guitar Hero and the TV and everything, and it all just plugs into the wall. But the coolest part is I can roll it wherever, so it doesn't have to be in the game corner. It can be wherever. I ended up playing Guitar Hero for like 2 or 3 hours that night, and I got online, I found the codes to unlock all songs because I can't find my memory card. And I played all night until, it was getting pretty late. I'm like, I gotta go to bed. It's time to work, but I want to play one more song. And then it wouldn't load. And I'm sad to say, I think my PlayStation 2
Oh, no.
PlayStation 2 died in this last like little hurrah. So I finally put it all together. Now the PlayStation 2 is dead. Now here's the thing, and I haven't done it yet because I've been a little dispirited, but I could just as easily hook my Wii up to the same thing and play Guitar Hero 3.
Oh, yeah,
or
you got that
theoretically, I have Guitar Hero 2, I think, on Xbox 360, so I could play that as well because that console still works. So I still have Guitar Hero options. It's just my original plan with it being PlayStation 2 based is going to have to be on hold for now until either I get a new PlayStation 2 or I fix up the one I have. And I've been looking at some stuff online about that too, but try not to get too ahead of myself. I think the next step is what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook up the Wii, just because a portable Wii on casters, that's like something you could just roll into like any classroom or nursing home and people would just have fun with it. I'd be like the coolest person ever.
Play some
Good
bowling.
idea.
But
I have to say,
ultimately,
if your PS2 has to die, that's the best way to go rocking out to get Guitar Hero. So
yeah, but I wanted more time with it. I wish
Yeah.
I would have said some things when I had the chance. But but this ultimately is like, it looks just like in a very put together way, because I got some duct tape and stuff going on with it. But it looks like a demo kiosk from a store. It's even like the same height and everything. So maybe not like 8 feet tall or whatever, like some of them, but it's like right at standing height, and it's cool. I like it. And I only spent $40 on it because everything else I already had. So we'll see how it goes, and I'll update it y'all in the future when I attach. Because the other thing I thought about doing with it, and I probably will, is just hook up my SNES with the EverDrive, and you've got a rolling
that'd be cool.
Super Nintendo library.
You could deck it out with like, you said demo kiosk, so with whatever you want, make a little like Nintendo graphics or PlayStation graphics, make it swappable. So whatever you put in there,
it
looks correct.
I had a lot of ideas, but the big part is functionality, and and if I like this enough, then maybe I'll do it with it for another system or something. But my goal was to have like one dedicated console per thingy, and as long as I have room, maybe I could do 2 or 3 of those, and it would be my equivalent of having some arcades finally. But this is just me this is just me like pipe dreaming a bunch. For the most part, I finally did something that I've been talking about for 5 years, and that's a big reason I thought I'd mention it. So yeah, that's back in my life. Guitar Hero 2, sort of. And I will update when I figure out something about this PlayStation 2, because I am not giving up on it yet. There's some ideas I have.
Cool.
Say, hopefully, I haven't looked into what it costs to get a PlayStation 2 now. I'm sure it's gone up then.
They have.
I'm sure it's high. I mean, everything has gone up, so I'm sure that's gone up too. And they're probably not as cheap
especially
as
to
they
get
used to
one that for fact is going to work. It's over $100.
Yeah, there's that problem too. Yeah,
because the disk drives, at this point, because it's a PS Fat that I bought, or PS2 Fat that I bought off a friend like over 5 years ago. Well, it had to have been closer to 10 years ago at this point. I bought it off of him for $10 because he found 2 PlayStation 2s at Goodwill for $10 a piece, and then he just sold me one of the 2 for what he paid for it. He's like, I don't need 2, and this one kind of doesn't work so good, so you can buy it off of me. And it worked okay until now. So I got my money worth out of it. I'm sad.
Yeah,
it's just like a little bump in the road. Another bump in the road. I gotta get over to complete my Guitar Hero dreams.
Nothing else. You're also interested in tinkering and fixing up console stuff.
And so Sean and I have already talked about how cool it would be to like, as the mobile, like your little mobile karaoke stand and stuff you could do with it too.
Oh yeah,
sure.
There's a lot of cool stuff we could do with it. We even talked about like when we do the Festivus party, we could hook up a laptop to it, and it would be like somebody was standing there through a Zoom meeting, and we could roll them around the room, and that'd be kind of funny because they'd be like at the right conversational height with the camera and everything.
Make you feel like you're there for the people who can't make it.
Yeah, except you can't move yourself. At least not yet, unless I get the robotic add-on kit. That doesn't exist. I made that up.
I mean, you guys would have to just move the person around.
Yeah, I think we're going to stick to the analog controls there. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me this week, though.
Well, I saw Mortal Kombat 2 at the theater.
Yeah.
And I got to say,
wow.
Overall,
some movie-going podcast this week.
Yeah, it is.
We saw 2 movies.
Oh, I did. I saw a movie this week, too.
What'd you see?
Nirvana, the band, the movie.
You saw it?
Yeah, I finally saw it.
Oh, good. Let's talk about that. What'd you think?
I liked it. The reason I finally watched it was because Shauna was away for the weekend and I was bored, and I was just like, well, I really want to see that movie, but last day I checked, it was like, I don't know, it's kind of expensive to rent it because whenever movies first come out, usually they're like 15 or $20. Sometimes they rent them,
Mhm.
or like far more expensive to buy them. So I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do it yet. But then I got on YouTube, and it was like, I think it was only like $4 or $5 to rent it. Like, the price had gone down. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm watching this movie.
Oh,
I liked it. I thought it was. I was a little worried it wouldn't meet my expectations with all the like hype and the interviews and stuff I'd watched about it, but the use of the old footage and the new footage was just really well done, and
Yeah.
it's a very silly movie with a lot going on behind the scenes to make it actually work.
Right.
And it's cool. It's cool. I think I might have seen something AI in there at one point, but that was the only thing.
Oh, really?
Upset me.
I didn't notice anything like that. What did you see?
It was sort of like a. It was showing like a compilation of like when they go back to the future and the one guy's famous. It was like showing a compilation of stuff from him on TV, and it was like this scene where he was on the Ellen show, and it just was totally looked like AI, because she like says, "I hear you're scared of clowns," and then like this big like it clown pops out of the back.
That actually, that was a real clip, because I'd seen that clip.
That's a real clip.
Yeah, that's a real clip.
It looked like AI. It looked so AI.
Maybe they did something to fix it up or whatever, but that was actually.
But he wasn't on Ellen,
clip,
was he? He was never on Ellen.
No. I mean, he.
So it's like a Forrest Gump kind of. They put him into the scene. Okay.
They inserted him into the scene. Yeah.
Well, I mean that's all well and good. I guess it's less about like the inserting into the old scene and more about, if you rewatch it, just the way that clown moves didn't seem. It seemed like AI. I guess I'd watch it again. I didn't rewind it. I didn't go back to check it, but it was just something about the movement of it. Just had that really weird, like stilted and like non-consistent in speed, like motion of AI stuff. But yeah, I liked the movie. I thought it was cool. I think they did a good job shouting back all their old, we get some little Easter eggs from like old YouTube videos and stuff in there, and they really
even have the one that started this all for us when you mentioned that on the show.
Yep.
The Wii Music one.
Yep. And then there's also the one thing I thought was funny, because I saw the Orbits bottle. And I was like, oh, that's not Schrodinger, that's Chekhov's Orbits bottle. Something's going to have to be done with that. And then within like 30 seconds, like he's like, do you know what Orbits is? Do you know what Orbits? And it's like, he knows that we know that, and he's over-explaining it to be obnoxious, and it's pretty funny. And it does end up becoming, part of how the time machine works or whatever. And that whole thing was just silly, but once again, like, that's fine. This is a silly universe that these two guys have created, and they do absurd things that don't make sense, but they kind of loop in real world footage that makes it a little more believable, because they're fairly good at prodding in public and stuff with people, especially Matt. He's really good at it.
Yeah,
it's cool.
The moment he's at the store and he's talking about, oh, I'm going to do this to cut the wire, etc. And the shopkeeper, the guard, who's a real person at the store, is like, oh, dude, you shouldn't do this. You're going to die. And then he kind of like, Matt's got like very skillfully goads him into getting some sort of semblance of an like permission on it. And then that little moment where he raises his hand up for a high five. It's like,
well, the guy's like, what does the guy say? He says, I'm a libertarian, so I think anybody should be able to do whatever the fuck they want. Everyone should have full freedom, but I still think this is stupid. And that you might die. You're probably going to die if you do this. He's like, I can't prevent other people from doing what they want to do, but I should tell you, it's probably going to fucking kill you.
Yep. There's a lot of fun Borat type moments in this movie, and
or what he like, it was kind of funny. Like, there's like a loop where it's supposed to be like the same scene happening again or whatever. He comes back to the same point, and he walks up to the lady, and he's like, "Hey, how you doing? Oh wait, you don't know me yet." But you could tell she's just like, "What?" Like she had met him before, maybe.
Yeah, I noticed that too. It's like, oh, he must have done that moment first in the sequence of filming, and then the first time that we see her in the movie, that must have been actually the second time that he encountered her. Yeah, so it's just a lot of clever stuff in the way that
it's a thinker. I think I'll probably watch it again. I've
watched it 4 or 5 times.
I wasn't ready to sit and watch it again, like right in sequence, but I think I would like to check it out again and get a better like sort of, because I probably missed some stuff, and Also,
Yeah.
I just it's cool that it took a really long time to get this film going, but I guess the it's like a happy accident that
Mm.
all this old footage and stuff was able to be implemented in such a cool way.
Yeah, it's pretty seamless, all told. And I think I hadn't watched the series before seeing this movie. You don't need to watch the series before seeing this movie. Like,
No.
just go see it. And now it makes me want to watch the series, which apparently they're talking about bringing back a season 3 at some point. So that's cool. Hopefully this movie gets that going. I'd like to watch that.
It's a nice, it's a nice level of absurdity and dry humor.
With a lot of heart.
Yeah, it's got heart. Like the heart helps, and I think Jay's important for that because Jay's actually a really good musician and stuff, and kind of wrote a lot of the music for the movie and stuff, and helped create the atmosphere in that regard. And yeah, they're just a good team. They make good stuff together, and I'm glad they're still doing it 20x years later, to some degree.
Speaking of good teams, how are the teams on Mortal Kombat 2?
A 7 out of 10. That's what I would say. 7 out of 10 on that movie. It's like well above my expectations, because that first movie, I think the first movie was like a 4.
That first
It
movie
was not good.
Was trash. Yeah, I didn't
like it. It did not come together. They did a lot of stupid things, including a character. The biggest mistake of that whole movie was having that character that nobody asked for.
Well, there's like 100 Mortal Kombat characters, and you thought you should make a new one.
Mistake number 1. That was just really, really stupid. Trey, you alluded to it in a previous episode of this show, but yes, they do correct that mistake pretty early on. And to great satisfaction. Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure you enjoyed that.
Yeah. So I gotta say, the handling of the characters is a lot better in this one. Like, even I don't know if Cole necessarily gets his moment in this movie, but there's a lot of characters in this, and everybody seems to get a moment. And I think the smart thing that they did was to hang this on Kitana.
Yeah, she's kind of a main character, is what
she's
I heard.
The main character in this movie. The marketing makes it seem like Johnny Cage is. He's really like a secondary main character. I guess you could call him a main. Yeah, he's not a side character, but there's really like 2 main characters in this, and Kitana definitely has the heart of this movie. It's her story, where she was her father was killed by Shao Kahn, and Shao Kahn took her, claim as he's now the ruler of their realm, and he just killed the guy who was the ruler. Now he like takes everything, including the guy's wife and daughter, who are what's her name? Shiva.
Sindel.
Screams.
Sindel.
No. Sindel, yes. Sindel, and then Kitana, who is the daughter, and basically the main character of this movie. So that little bit, it's a very simple story. I'm not gonna heighten it or whatever. It's a simple story, but just having that as the start and the through line of it, like, good, cool. It's kind of all we need, because in very quick order, within like 10 minutes, the movie becomes what Mortal Kombat fans want, which is it's like 80% fights.
The tournament, yeah.
Yeah, it's actually the tournament. And after I saw this, I thought, I bet there's like a good cut somewhere between the 2 movies. Like, you could get rid of most of the first movie, and you could have the build up to the tournament, and then have the second movie be the bulk of it. Maybe this is like a 2.5 hour or 3 hour thing, but I bet there's a good, not a great cut. These aren't great movies. This one's not a great movie. It's a fun movie, but between the 2 of them, I think there's a good, like, lengthy cut, like a 3 hour movie that could be made. I'd be curious for some fan to actually try and do that. And I enjoyed it. I had a fun time. I saw it with my buddy Rich, and we both liked it. There's some laugh out loud moments. There's some good humor in here. Johnny Cage is definitely like a little bit. I heard a review say he's the Deadpool of this movie. It's not quite to that degree, but he definitely is the wisecracker.
Did they explain like why
movie.
he's so old? Like, I mean, I like Carl Urban a lot, but
Mm.
I thought he looked way too old to play Johnny Cage.
I think so. Well, so in this version of it,
Unless Johnny Cage is
past
supposed
his
to be
prime.
really old in this one. I don't know.
He's supposed to be not that he's supposed to be old. He's past his prime, and the way he's introduced is in a cheesy movie.
I mean, he was always kind of
plays out.
he was always kind of washed up in the games, is what it's supposed to be. But I mean, I don't know. I thought, like I said, I was intrigued by it because I like Carl Urban. I just thought he looked really old from what I saw of the footage of it.
I would say, yeah, it was not distracting. He didn't feel like out of place. Personally, I would like to see in a movie like this that every person in this movie is actually like a legitimate martial artist.
Yeah.
That would have been my priority. And regardless of Carl Urban's age, I don't think he's an actual martial artist,
Oh yeah,
to
probably
my
not.
knowledge.
He probably
Um,
can't do the splits punch. Did he do
Right.
that? Did he do it in the movie? He has to, right?
That, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, everything was just like a solid, nothing too complicated, but just very fun to watch kind of movie. I had a good time. What's his name? Kano was back, and he was good in this one too.
Yeah, they like
scenes that he was in.
found a way to bring him back to life, right? Because they
Yeah,
That's
there's
what
the
I
character
heard,
who's
yeah.
the necromancer. What's the necromancer guy's name? Who was featured in mythologies?
Shinnok.
Yeah, I think that's the guy.
I mean, Shinnok
they-
is the boss from Mortal Kombat 4, but he was
Okay.
he was in. Well, I mean, Mortal Kombat Mythologies was supposed to build him up, him and Quan Chi
Mhm.
as being like the two new bad guys for Mortal Kombat 4.
Yeah, he's in it, and so he resurrects Kano. I'm spoiling a little bit, but we're not here for the plot, really. Yeah, that was just a good enough movie. It was good enough for me. 7 out of 10.
I'll see it whenever I'll find a way to see it whenever it's available digitally. I'll see it at some point. I just
It's worth seeing.
Didn't feel like I needed to go to the theater for it.
It's worth seeing. And when you go to the theater next week for Backrooms, if you feel like seeing a second one, it's worth it. I think it was a good time.
I don't think we'll do two movies in one day ever. We did that once, and both of them were terrible, so we're not gonna do that again.
There's some things that I liked about some video game type things. There's actually a health bar, which is kind of funny, like floating above their heads, and it's a little clever. So the movie, this is the tournament basically, right? And cinematically, they needed some way for you to keep track of which side is winning because they're on teams in this one, right? And so there are lanterns that appear up above anytime that a fight is happening, which just kind of like shows, which side is winning. They don't overdo it; they just cut to it here and there when needed. But I thought that was like, oh, that's the health bar. that's kind of clever and doesn't stand out or whatever. So I thought that the opening was maybe like a little bit too quick. There's some moments throughout that don't really like feel earned. It's just kind of like, oh, that's the next thing that should happen. Shao Kahn is definitely like the bad guy because he's wearing an evil skull mask, and that's the entirety of his character.
I mean, he never really had any backstory or anything like that in the game. He's just the Outworld god, the Outworld leader or whatever. Maybe they did a little bit more like when they made the games more cinematic, but I never really thought he really had a whole lot of story. He's just bad guy.
Yeah, I mean, there's if you're making a movie, there's definitely room to make him more of a deep character. They didn't do that. It's like, okay, all right, that's the kind of movie that this is. All right. Overall, it's just like, even like toward the end, I thought Rich and I both agreed the end actually like perked it up a little bit. Like I'd call it a 7 out of 10 overall, but I think the end sequence is like 8 out of 10. Like, oh, they did something there. It actually made me feel a little bit emotional toward the climax of the movie, and the fight was good and all that. So it left on a good impression. And yeah, the songs in there too, and yeah, it's hard to have a bad impression when that song is in the movie in peak moments. Yeah, so it actually did get me into a Mortal Kombat mood, and I already bought the Legacy Collection.
I mean, yeah, you'd already been playing it a bunch already, so
Yeah, Well, I went home that day and played it a bunch more. And
I saw
actually beat.
I saw you play some of it when we were trying to do the non-game chat, but it kept disconnecting me for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Then I got completely disconnected, and then Jeremy wasn't there anymore, so I was like, oh fuck it, because it kept like making the screens go away, and then I'd have to turn it back on, and then they'd go away again, and it was just, for some reason, it was not working on my end. But I saw enough of, it looked very painful what you're going through there, where you're like lose and restart and lose and restart and lose and restart. But I did see people like complain about it, but I didn't hold anything against Digital Eclipse for it. But Mortal Kombat, those arcade games are unfairly hard. They've always been, where like they're really not that fun to play. Like, and even if you try to put it on easy, it's still the same. Like, the difficulty never changes. That's just how those arcades were built. So, especially that first one where you have to do like the endurance matches and all that, they're just not fun, because it really tries to suck the quarters out of you, is what I'm saying. You know, I think Mortal Kombat 4 is like a little bit more playable because they made it like less, arcade hard. But I think 1 through 3 are still kind of a pain to play, like on the arcade. If you want to play it and have fun with it, I say play the console versions, because they made them a little bit more tolerable as far as the difficulty goes.
I did save state my way to victory, so that's what I was doing when we were doing the chat.
Yeah,
I was just constantly going back to the last time that I had a good run of a couple of hits here and there.
Yeah, I mean, I did that. I rewound my way through Motaro on Mortal Kombat 3, where I just kept rewinding it and hitting him and rewind and dodge and rewind and hit and rewind and dodge. And that's how I beat him, because I just kept rewinding and doing something different, and then I made it all the way through. So that's the fun thing about doing collections like that, where you can save state or rewind your way through unfair matches.
I did find that in Mortal Kombat 2, I was playing as Sub-Zero. I was getting my ass kicked by Scorpion over and over again, and then somehow I discovered that if you just crouch and punch him in the nuts over and over again, like, you can just beat him that way.
Yeah.
If you can get one hit to the nuts to Scorpion, you can just punch him in the nuts over and over again until he's dead.
You learned the golden rule of fighting games: duck and punch. Like that's like the beginner, because most people don't know how to
sweep kick.
Well, most people don't know how to block down, so that's like that was the beginning of cheapness and fighting games or whatever. Is punch the shins. I think I say that even in the WART radio fighting game episode that I did. I said punch shins to this music, because that's always been a thing. Because but I mean, when you're playing against a computer, who cares? But that was always an easy way to get hits in, is duck and punch, because people don't know how to block down. Yeah, same with it's like the sweeps too. What I always would do is jump. Like, if you jump backwards and jump kick, they'll like walk into your jump kicks. Also, that's another trick. If you keep going up against the screen, they'll just walk into it, and you can just keep hitting them, and they'll get knocked down. That's another arcade trick.
Played Tomodachi just a little bit more, enough to get my parents together finally. There was like some sort of block going on where I couldn't get any of the characters to like ask each other out, and then I'm playing the other day, and like all of a sudden I got queued up, or whatever. So that came up that the character says, "Oh, I'm interested in taking this person out on a date." That happened like 3 times. So it was like something that I was doing was keeping that from happening, and got through that, and now a bunch of people are getting together. But I didn't play it too much this week. I didn't really play many games that much this week, except for Mortal Kombat, and I only played maybe 3 hours of that over the course of the week. But one of the games I did dip my toes into and try was I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. I just wanted to. I've been curious about that game ever since I heard that title, and now I have it. I bought it a couple weeks ago, and I said, "Let me see what this is about." And it's about AI, which is prescient, interesting. The game opens. It's very like what's the word for it? It's grim. It has the look of it has a lot of. Who's the alien artist? The famous, is it H.R. Geiger?
Yeah, H.R. Geiger.
Oh yeah.
It looks a lot like that. A lot of that, those kind of designs, like the unnatural and the natural sort of intertwined. The story is, it opens on AI has there's one AI that has taken over the world, and it has left 5 people alive just to torture them. And so that's the opening graphic that you see is the AI, which is like represented by this monolith, and around the AI is the 5 characters that are in various states of torture. Someone's being electrocuted, someone's being stabbed over and over. And it introduces each of the characters one by one, tells you just a little bit about them, and then it kind of says, in other words, who do you want to be? And you get to pick after you briefly learned about each of these characters. Who do you want to be?
Of the 5 people left alive that are getting
Of
tortured?
the 5 people left alive, yeah. Yeah. And one of them, so 4 of them are men. There's one woman. And then the other character who stuck out to me was someone who's, the AI has been experimenting on him and basically turning him into a beast, almost like Blanca. Like they've ripped out his vocal cords. So he can't speak. So I picked that guy. That guy sounded interesting.
It's like he
I
can't.
imagine the title too.
It's like he can't talk. You know, he won't annoy me.
And it is a point and click. The layout's a little interesting. I think this game is like from 1996 or so, I want to say. The layout of it is not in the like LucasArts sense. It's still got remnants of the old like text adventure games kind of to it. Like at the bottom of the screen is like verbs like go or open or whatever. And every time before you click on something, you have to select essentially the verb, what you want to do to the object. You want to go to the object. You want to pick up the object. You want to talk to the object if it's a person or whatever. So it's a little bit archaic in that, but it is an old game. So maybe they just didn't really have those rules set in stone yet or something. I don't know. It takes a little getting used to. That's all I'm saying. But what I'm finding so far in about 30 minutes of playing it, again, I was just trying to preview it. I didn't have time to really get into a new game. I just was curious and wanted to see, what's this about? Seems like something that's like pretty deep and narratively interesting. So I'm intrigued to try more, and especially with the revelation that there's 5 different characters. So I'm wondering how those
5 different playthroughs.
5 different playthroughs. Yeah,
5 replays.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. So at a future point, I'll re-engage with that game. I did download the Resident Evil demo. I didn't play it yet, though.
Oh.
More on that next week.
I'm really curious. That got announced like a couple days ago, or was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. But yeah, Resident Evil Requiem has a demo now. It doesn't carry into the final game, but it says it used some of the early parts of the game. So I'm curious as to what exactly you would play. Like probably maybe some of the early opener stuff with Grace with the zombies, I guess is what I would think. But I don't know. Like in the whatever, in like the hospital or whatever it is, that place. But yeah, is that good for you then?
That's good for me.
All right, well, let's do the notes.
News. Don't snooze or you miss the news.
Not quickly, hopefully. We're already at over 2 hours, but we all had a lot to say, so that's cool. Did anybody watch the Dragon Quest 40th anniversary stream today?
Nope.
I watched parts of it that I could.
Oh, okay.
Was that today or yesterday?
It was this morning. It was
okay.
It was short. It was 9 minutes. It came on at like 8
okay,
a.m.
yeah. Then I did watch the whole thing. Then I was like, this is really short, but yeah, I watched the whole thing.
Yeah, it didn't. So I got up at 9:30 to watch it. I was gonna get up. I figured whenever I get up, I'll watch it. But I watched it in the morning, and it was very, very short. It very much had a Metroid Prime 4 moment in it. It evened down to having Beyond in both of the games. But, as Dragon Quest 12 had been announced before, just showing a logo, and, there were rumors that they were going to make it be this dark game or whatever, which I never really wanted that, so I'm not mad about it, but some other people are, I guess. I've seen some discourse on the internet with people being mad that it's like, who the fuck cares? It's a new Dragon Quest game. It's going to be great. Like, shut up. But, no, Yuji Horii and one of the producers, I don't remember the name of the other guy that was there, but they decided to scrap everything they had worked on for Dragon Quest XII and start again from the beginning, and now it's called Dragon Quest XII Beyond Dreams, and they show a little bit of footage of it, and it basically looks like 11 from what I
So you're saying it was scrapped and restarted, and it's also called Beyond?
Yeah.
That they both had Beyond in the name, yeah. So, but it very much had that feeling of the Metroid Prime thing where it's like, oh, well, they actually switched developers for that one, but it was like, yeah, it's like, oh no, we decided that we're just going to start all over again. But they did say that they're going to use Toriyama's designs.
Yeah,
still.
I thought they had said that maybe I misunderstood it, but I got the impression that the project was restarted before Toriyama passed. Maybe I'm wrong, but
yeah, that I'm not sure about. But yeah, they just said that
I'm
they
hoping so.
Yeah, well, what did Toriyama die like? Was it last year or the year before?
Like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
I don't remember if I thought it was last year, but I don't know, or no, maybe it was before that. But anyway, he's been gone for a bit. Anyway, they're starting again from scratch. To me it looked a lot like it looked like Dragon Quest XI with different characters is what I got from that trailer. So and it didn't say anything about systems that it was going to or a release date or whatever, but they said like, you're gonna have to wait longer because of the reshuffling of the team or whatever, and they said that there's more that they have, but the developers would be unhappy if they showed it or whatever. They say something like that. But then we get another trailer for a Dragon Quest Monsters sequel called The Withered World, which kept reminding me of like a Wind and Waves just because of the double W's and.
Well, also in Pocopia, the first land you're in is called Withered Wasteland.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, I wondered if it was like gonna pull because I know all the Dragon Quest Builder games took place in like post-apocalyptic worlds, and maybe they're like, let's do that with Dragon Quest Monsters also. Which there's a big sale on most of the Dragon Quest games right now. I just wanted to point it out for anybody who was interested. Dragon Quest Monsters is going for $10 right now. You can get Dragon Quest VII Reimagined for $44.99. Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D is $41.99. Dragon Quest 3 is $29.99. And Dragon Quest Treasures is also $29.99. Builders is not on sale. Neither of the builders are on sale. I don't know but they put everything off. It's just on sale for the week, just for the anniversary, but I don't know. If anybody's interested in Dragon Quest Monsters, there is one on there already for $10, which is a pretty great deal, I think. So check those out.
It's a Dark Prince, right? Is that what DP stands for?
Yeah. So Deadpool, the Dragon Quest Monsters starring Deadpool. He's one of the monsters. But the Dark Prince, yeah. I didn't want to write everything out.
I mean, for what it was, I know it was a short thing, but it still made me happy as a fan to see.
It did a cool like opening thing where it showed all the Dragon Quest games over the years, and the music changes as it goes, like from the NES, from the Famicom to the Super Famicom to the PlayStation to the DS, and I liked that. Of course, we all get the feels seeing all the old Dragon Quests over the years, and I still felt sad that there's no way to play Dragon Quest X.
Right?
The MMO. I still was hoping for that when I was watching the thing. I was like, oh, please give us an English version of 10. That was a fucking Wii game, like that's still around for whatever, man. Oh, and it was really cool when they showed the footage from Dragon Quest XI. They showed the footage from Dragon Quest XI 3DS first. And I really enjoyed that. I was like, yes, because I always thought it looked really cool. Like, I wanted to play that version of it because it had that like lower poly look to it, but I just loved the way it looked, like the way the characters looked in that one for the 3D stuff, And I was going to buy it until I realized that I had to buy a Japanese 3DS to play it, so I didn't while I was in Japan. But it was 9 minutes long. It was really quick. I'm interested in the Dragon Quest Monsters did say Switch 1 and Switch 2 on it. And it has like this kind of dog slime thing at the end, which is interesting. Maybe you can combine slimes with some other creatures in there, but that one says coming soon, so I'm expecting it's going to come out this year probably. It keeps making it just a Withered World just makes me think of the Danzig song Mother, where he's like, I'm all about the withered world. He doesn't say that, but it's close enough that now that song's stuck in my head all day. but But anyway, yeah, no more Dragon Quest stuff. Bring it to me. I was, of course I had high hopes. I put it on the Slack. I was hoping for a Rocket Slime collection or some sort of what's happening with 4, 5, and 6. Are we getting a reimagination of the reimagining of those? Are we going to get like a HD 2D version? Like what's going on with those games? Like can we re-release those in some way so people can play them? Like come on. But it's still nice to see that 12 is still going and it has Beyond in the title. So hooray, I guess. So Dragon Quest, happy 40th anniversary. Go out and get yourself a Puff Puff for your 40th anniversary.
Puff Puff Pass.
Yeah, let's say don't ask what that is. You got to play the games to try to figure it out. And even that, it's still a bit of a question if you've played them all. I like the one where they smash the slimes in your face, and that's what it's supposed to be. Oh yeah, and there's a trailer for Dragon Quest XI Switch 2 edition coming out in September. On September 24th for $39.99 with no upgrade path. Come on, guys. Like, I don't know. I was talking to Jess about that earlier. I'm like, what do they want you to just like accident? Well, I mean, not for this one, but like for like Dragon Quest 1 and 2. Like there was no upgrade path between Switch 1 and Switch 2. They released both of them separately. Like do they expect you to like fuck up and buy the wrong one and then buy another one and then you get two sales? Like, why can't we just pay like $5 or $2 or whatever just to get Dragon Quest XI Switch 2 for all of us who bought it back in 2019 when it came out? Like, come on.
Maybe they'll do that and they just didn't put it in this, direct.
I don't know. I saw a post just recently from Nintendo Life saying that there was no sign of it, but I would. It's already on the eShop. I would think if it was on there, it would show an upgrade path, but whatever. It's an awesome game on both systems, but I didn't think it really necessarily needed a Switch 2 edition. It's probably just going to be higher resolution and frame rate and all that fun stuff. But maybe it'll get more people to play it. It's an excellent game. I think it's one of the best games on the system. So, get it. Anyway, releases this week, not on Switch, but I do know that your beloved 007 First Light is out now.
Yep, and it's getting good reviews. 88 so far on Metacritic.
Oh, I thought it was higher. But yeah, whatever. 88's fine. I tried to watch some of it on Twitch last night, but it kept fucking up just as a background thing while I was editing. But I didn't really get to see a whole lot of it. Just enough to. Well, I was like, I still don't like the way that guy looks, the Bond guy. I don't like the way he looks. I mean, no offense towards the actor or whatever. He doesn't look like Bond to me. He just looks like a random dude. But I'm sure playing the game would make it better. But it was. I didn't get to see enough of it to really have an opinion on it. But I'm sure it's. I mean, it's it's the Hitman people. I'm sure it's good.
Yeah, I'm more excited for it than ever. I knew it was going to be good. It wasn't going to. Yeah, like you said, it's the Hitman people. They're going to do it right. So, but IGN called it the best Bond game since GoldenEye. Polygon said that it combines James Bond, Hitman, and Uncharted into the most epic game of 2026. So yeah, it's living up to the hype for me. Still a little sour that it's not out on NS2 yet, but I'll wait a little bit. Sure. Let's see what else. The NS2 version is going to be a game key card, the physical.
No, oh yeah, no surprise there. Most things are.
Yeah. You can get Bond's watch from the game if you want to. It's $9,400, but
yeah, if you happen to have $9,400, just weighing burning a hole in your pocket. You just want to drop that sort of money on some shitty watch. Go for it. I mean, I'm sure it's a fine watch, but I don't know. If you're paying that sort of money for a watch, what are you even doing?
Yeah, I'm looking forward. I just want to actually play this game for myself. It did get me back in the Hitman mood, and I played a little bit of Hitman 2 this week. Another game coming out this week. I want to go back to the deals over here. There's a new game out. It's on sale.
Oh yeah, I put it on there. Some of the deal stuff makes me confused and sometimes I miss it. But yeah, this game has my name in it. But say what it is.
Lumen Tales: Memories of Trey.
It's so weird. Why is my name in there? What the fuck is this game? No, I saw it on there. I'm like, wait, Memories of Me? What?
When you put all your stuff up for that game, it took all your photos and made a game out of them.
Oh, for
Right.
Pictonico, yeah.
Pictonico,
No, we got
yeah.
memories of Trey.
Now they know everything about me, yeah. No, it was a weird thing to see. I was like, wait, that's my name. You can't have it.
It's an
It's
RPG.
mine. Isn't
You
it,
might like it.
Isn't it like a Pokemon-like? I mean, I think I saw a little bit of it, but it kind of looked like, I don't know. I thought that's what I got from it.
I really didn't read anything about it, but actually, Nintendo World Report has a review in progress, what they're calling it. So you can find out more about that game if you want from there.
I hadn't heard of it until today, and until I saw it on the Slack. But I mean, the picture of it shows a guy with a whole bunch of creatures around him, so that's why I figured it was a Pokemon-like.
Let's read the.
And if you look at any of the pictures, it looks like the the way the battle's set up. It looks like a Pokemon game.
Here's the summary. Join Trey on an adventure to regain his lost memories and uncover lost secrets in the land of Talia. Embark on an unforgettable adventure with Lumentale, Memories of Trey, a captivating monster collector RPG
That's what I said.
in a
right there.
beautiful,
Pokemon.
enchanting world. Yep. So kind of Pokemon-like themes.
Yep.
All right. I wanted to know actually, an old game is on sale, Economics. I remember we talked about this a while ago. This is a couple years ago. Did you guys get this?
We got a
not.
code for it. We got a review code for it. I think I gave one to Jeremy too. I did a video on it. Go back. There's a YouTube video on our site, on our YouTube, of me playing it. I enjoyed it from what it was, but yeah, it was I don't know. You were like little gnome guys or something, and used eggs. I don't know. It's been a couple years since I played it, but I enjoyed it when I did get it.
It's a roguelite city builder.
Yeah.
And it's only $8 right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you get a chance to try it, Jeremy, or no?
No, I haven't tried it yet.
I think you might have tried it.
Put it on there because I thought you'd
If I
expressed
did, yeah, I
interest in
don't
sometime.
remember.
Tried it for a second, but I thought it was cool. I enjoyed playing it from what I did, and I think it was one of those what's like Untold Story. It's one of those developers that sent us stuff. But I thought it was enjoyable from what I played of it. Mina the Hollower, big game, huge game, is coming out this week. I think that's what I confused
Finally.
the other one with, because that one has like a 93 Metacritic. Not that I care, but Mina the Hollower from Yacht Club Games, I would expect it to be a good game, especially since it's been delayed a few times and they haven't really done much other than Shovel Knight stuff. I mean, they've done plenty of stuff, but it's cool for them to have an original IP thing coming out. And I played the demo for Switch 2 and enjoyed that. I mean, I don't see myself getting the game anytime soon, but I imagine that a lot of people are really going to like it, and you'll hear a lot of talk about it.
Yeah, I might get it this week. I haven't decided yet. It is fairly highly anticipated for me.
I thought it would be. Yeah, I thought it would be a Jeremy game. I thut you definitely would check it out.
It's supposed to be really hard, and when I play the demo, I would agree.
Yeah, I like the demo. I mean, it feels like a Game Boy Color game kind of, but the sort
Definitely.
of with kind of like a Castlevania theme, but like a Castlevania meets like Link's Awakening sort of feel to it.
And even Dark Souls a little bit.
Yeah. So I did like it, but I don't plan on playing anything other than Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So no need to buy any other games for right now.
Yeah, I'm interested. Just too busy right now. Maybe at some point. It is on the wish list. Another game out this week's King of Tokyo, and I'm just mentioning this because I played the board game a couple times. What was that?
That was me. Don't worry about it. That was me trying to watch a video of it
It's
to
kind
see
of
it.
scary.
That's the game.
But,
That's King of Tokyo yelling at you, is what that is.
King of Tokyo. I played this board game over my brother-in-law with my brother-in-law and my nephew. It's a favorite of theirs.
Oh, I didn't know what it was. I was confusing it. There was an old like PlayStation 2 game that was like the Godzilla fighting game, but without Godzilla. That was really good. I forget what it was
Destroy All
called.
Monsters Melee.
Well, that's the Godzilla one, but there was a PS2 one that was like that, but didn't use any of the licensed Godzilla monsters, but it was cool.
I don't know. This one is a strategy.
I was hoping
game.
it was that one, but this one kind of looks like a card battler because it's got cards in it, from what I've seen.
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
you
It's
use
a
those
strategy game.
You use that in the game then, right? In the board game,
Yeah, yeah.
you use cards.
So I've only played it a couple of times, and I don't know, it hasn't quite gelled with me, but they love it. and yep, some other people listening to this might love it too. It's a Godzilla type thing.
It
We got
was
some strategy fans here.
War of the Monsters is what it was called.
Oh, right. Yeah,
That's
War
the
of the
PlayStation 2 game that I always really wanted to play because it had this. I don't know. It was cool because it would it would do the split screen if you walked away from each other, and then when you all came together, it would become one screen. It was the first game that I saw that did that. So, like a lot of the Lego games do it now, but Speaking of Lego, what the fuck is going on with the Batman Lego game on Nintendo Switch 2? It's out for every other system and it's getting really highly rated, and I'd love to play it, but it became MIA for Switch 2. Like it's just not. It has no release date, and it came out like this week, or it's coming out this week for every other system other than Switch 2. I mean, it's a Lego game. Like, what the hell, guys? It's still on the eShop, and it just says 2026, and that's it, with no date. That's what I'd like to know, because that game's getting hella good reviews, and I'd really like to play it. But
not a bad signal for it.
But it's not. But it's not coming to. But apparently, it's not coming to Switch 2 anytime soon. They just dropped it out. It was supposed to. It was another one of those that was supposed to come out on the date, and then it just became MIA. What the fuck? Lollipop Chainsaw Switch 2 edition comes out this week. It's on sale for $44.99, regularly $49.99. It's a $5 upgrade path. If you have it already, I'd like to play that game someday just because it's a James Gunn game, and I like that guy. And Suda, too, right? Is it Suda 51 on it?
I think so, yeah.
That one game that I'd really like to play at some point, My Little Puppy, the one about the puppy that goes to the afterlife and waits for you on the other side, that comes out this week, too.
Yep.
If you remember that from the Direct, the one that's going to make everybody cry. It's coming out this
fantastic premise
for $25, and I'm still super intrigued by this game. I mean, I don't see myself getting it right now, but I'll probably play it eventually because I think it's great.
It's going to dethrone GTA 5, become the top-selling game of all time.
Well, it'll come out this year, so it'll have a better chance at that. And Bubsy 4D, we completely forgot about last week. It did come out. I think I put it on the notes actually, and then it disappeared. But yeah,
or Bubsy
4D, it's out. I've seen mixed reviews on it.
7 out of 10 from Nintendo Life.
I really don't. I don't know. I really don't care that much about it, but
yeah,
some people like it.
Interesting.
I mean, you guys played the demo. I didn't even do that.
They were trying some interesting things.
Sort of played the demo.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I got for the new releases. Is there any real quick new stuff we can do here?
Yeah.
Since we're at our limit.
Sega's revived the Crazy Taxi social media, meaning that the new game is around the corner.
Well, there's like was it like an animation of a taxi light flickering?
On. Yep.
I don't know that.
Well, that's
I
it.
I don't know how around the corner it is, but there is some life there, I guess. They got a pulse now.
They announced that like 3 years ago or something like that, and hey, now we got an animation, so cool. The Florist, this game looks interesting. This is a throwback to classic Resident Evil, and this is coming sometime this year. I like the look of it. It's like what if Resident Evil but plants is essentially what it is. Looks kind of gothic, romantic. My arms are longer now. The Jackbox Games one is confirmed for Switch and for Switch 2.
And I've seen it compared to what that other one you played. Thank You for Being Here. What's it called?
Thank goodness you're here.
Yeah, I saw somebody compare it to that, so I thought you'd be interested in it.
Seems apt.
It's like an Australian. Thank goodness you're here. So
I'm getting this one. Looks very silly. I love it. Tetris the Grandmaster 4 Elusive Eye is coming in a couple weeks on June 4th.
Okay, so this is an Arcade Archives release.
Well, I think this is a new game, though. There are two currently on the system on Switch that are Arcade Archives. It's the first one, and then there's Tetris the Absolute Grandmaster 2 Plus, the second one. The third one is MIA from the Switch, but now this is the Grandmaster 4, which I did not admittedly look into, but it was announced as if it's a new game, and let's figure it out right now.
Well, it says on the article, it says that April 2025 was when Tetris the Grandmaster 4 Absolute Eye was released on Steam.
Elusive Eye.
Whatever.
Okay.
It says Absolute Eye on here.
Oh.
Twice.
Oh, did I miss? Maybe,
3 times, 4 times. It's all over the article.
all right. Well, that's what it is.
That's what I call the thing on my dollar bill.
The Absolute Eye.
The Absolute Eye.
It's how the government watches you. It steals your adrenochrome somehow.
So it was a Steam game and now on Switch.
Yeah,
There you
from what I heard, the Grandmaster games are just like, are for people who are really, really good at Tetris, and it's really hard. But yeah, this is the first one was released in 1998, and then in 2000, and then in 2005, and then 20 years later was this one, was Grandmaster 4. But yeah, if you're a pro Tetris player, they are the people who like it, from what I've heard. I think I got one of them. I think I got Grandmaster 1, and I just didn't really see how it was really different from the other Tetris game, all the other Tetris games I had played. So I never really got into it because I just
I also
didn't
am
get it.
like currently quite stocked up on Tetris.
Yeah, you got Tetris. Yeah, you got the Tetris Forever, and I still just
And then we got the Tetris 99 event this weekend.
Oh yeah, not to mention we do have a. I probably would have forgot about that. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, there's a Yoshi in the Mysterious Book Tetris 99 this weekend. So cool. I will be playing that because I continue to collect all of the themes on Tetris 99. And
There's a knockoff Alarmo in the wild. This is pretty funny.
A knockoff of what?
Alarmo.
Oh.
So it's a random knockoff Alarmo.
What is it called? Clocko?
It's called the Decala Chronosense. If you look at it,
Well, they
the
weren't
factor is the
good with
exact
naming
same.
it there.
No,
It doesn't have that charm of Alarmo.
no, Alarmo is much better.
They should have called it Clocko. That would have been funny.
It's just right on the nose.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a screen. There's animations, random generic characters and all that stuff.
It should be
It's just
like
fun.
it should be like off like Arrow the Acrobat and Bubsy. It should be
Yeah,
all
I was
these,
wondering,
the worst
what-
characters.
should be all these like knockoff guys that no one cares about.
It's just Treasure Island Dizzy.
Joe and Mac. I don't know.
Yeah, it's all title based. Or no, Jellico.
Jellico.
All right, the last thing. Let's end it on some good news, a happy one here. Tekken director Katsuhiro Harada finally went to Waffle House.
I saw that, and you know what I say? What you need to do is go make a fucking Switch 2 version. Like, stop wasting your time at Waffle House and get working on the Switch 2 version of Tekken 8.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are you hanging
Unless you're
out
going to
at...
make it at Waffle House, which is fine.
Yeah, I was like, it's cool, you found a Waffle House. Go find a way to get Tekken 8 on Switch 2. We don't care about fucking Waffle House. We want
Maybe he had to
Tekken
do,
8
like,
on Switch 2.
Whatever they did, like the 3D scans of the environment and stuff. That's why he was there.
I guess, yeah. But no, get to work on that. I'd really like. He's like hinted at it before that it would be cool. Get going on that shit, please.
Maybe he's like, I want to do that. I want to put it on the Switch too, but I'm just one waffle away. I need a waffle first.
Sure.
I don't have enough energy.
A brain waffle.
I need waffle.
Yeah, stop waffling is what we're saying.
I think we already talked about Donkey Kong 64 coming to NSO, right? We said that earlier.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I think we're good.
All right. Yeah, that's been whatever episode it is, 522 of NintenDomain Podcast. Thanks so much for listening. If you'd like to hear more of us and support the show, go to patreon.com/NintenDomain Podcast. And for only $1, you can hear 84 of our expansion packs. I think there's actually more on there that aren't numbered, so I think it's higher than that. But there's all sorts of fun, exclusive episodes that you can hear on there, including the one that we just did where we talked about the best middle of games.
The best middles.
And I just edited it last night, and I thought it was delightful. I enjoyed listening to it again. So you can listen to it for $1, and for $5 you get videos of us early, unedited, and all that fun stuff. And you can listen to the WART radio that has all the music from the month of the from the following. I think it's like 2 months behind, but yeah, listen to all the intros and outros of all the episodes and expansion packs into a fun playlist with all sorts of silly jokes in there. So check that out. And of course, you can find us online. Look up NintenDomain. Check out those reels on Facebook. I got over 4,000 views for my latest Yoshi and the Mysterious Book one. So
Good job.
people like it. I put it on Instagram also, just because. And I had to play through that level again to get the reel, but it was worth it. It's worth it just to have it. I just wanted to prove that the game is difficult for all the people who think that it isn't. But yeah, you can find that. And, wherever else. Blue Sky, Twitter, wherever. And yeah, we've been your hosts. I'm Trey Johnson.
I'm Trey Mikowski.
John Nitter.
Thanks everybody for listening. We'll see you next time.
See ya!
Ba-dum-bum. You called me. I'm Bullet Hellboy now.
Hey, you always wanted to be me, so you're Bullet Hellboy.
I just don't.
I don't know. I didn't know I could rename everybody. That's kind of fun.
I just don't change.
I wonder
it.
if I could rename John.
Yeah.
So on Zoom, you can name yourself in the corner or whatever. And Jeremy is.
I'm
named Trey.
I'm Jeremy's middle name.